Welcome back, Mr. Witness. Welcome back, Mr. Witness. Yeah, may I remind you that you're still under oath? And you're expected to speak the truth? Before the break, you were still trying to dissect Yaya Jammeh for us. Trying to help us understand Yaya Jammeh and some of the things that were being done in order to keep him in power. But of course, you would realize, Mr. Witness, or you would agree with me, that during the early days and throughout his leadership of this country, Yaya Jammeh was very, very sensitive to criticism, especially criticism in the press. Bare asida upano urambe no musong matiko Yaya Jammeh kala kakana la komitati di mufam tu ala kenda ka ana numan jone amma mutman an areg makojiye jonge ndi karayola surtout ringo jadi kana numan jone koku safere mi man ko sen kibara. That's true. Yo malegen any criticism of government or Yaya Jammeh himself or any question about government activities would be met with very severe reaction from Yaya Jammeh, correct? Na piano sana ateblomi wafa numanjone sumut Yaya Jammeh wala dikan wafa numanjone jonge mbeka katuku ya mansakunda yola kane kan wafa numanjone Yaya Jammeh mangiritu. That's true. Yo malegen. And in violation of the laws of this country, Yaya Jammeh would attack journalists, attack newspaper houses, attack radio stations because they criticized him. Bi ujikeja kakajana katindu waeti mofamiti Gambi Yaya Jammeh na allo melom kan manjone koko miko journalistak dibko kati newspaper radio babu tu kan manjone koko jummidi fulibita fadi kibarai mante mobang. That's true. Yo malegen. And you are very much aware of institutions, media houses that he attacked. I can't tell you off the cuff. Radio 1 FM, owned by George Christensen. Babaj Pop si kulimet kati kibara kanu manjone allow me loan ban pop babaj radio ya manjone na remen yo yati Radio 1 ya arungu me yo karese no George Christensen. Yes. You would agree that the security forces under his command and control attack Radio 1 FM and set it on fire. Panusong pop matiko kana manjone koku kanta yoni koku jome kulum radio yankurage Radio 1 mankuremen yo. That's true. Yo po maligan. And at the level of the NIA, you are all aware that this was an operation by the security forces. Dipo fuju mafati NIA au numanje matiko uru kankang wafa numanjone kana kati burunga be fulimata feka tanka koko kamimam. That's true. Yo po maligen. Was this discussed at the NIA? Mante uru kanka wafa numanjone umiki mikitatu NIA? Not to my knowledge. But how did you come to know that this was done by the security forces? Barabulu kana numanje matiko kamedi fulimata fe epo etibu kana koko kamimam. There was a day when Ahmad Ba, the MP for Salem, raised that topic in Parliament. That fan MP a deputy pulo mi Salem. Na naite long frame fakili abdirus. But one officer by the name of Sana Manjang na kumekara ankone mi Sana Manjang was burnt in the hand during that exercise, and he was staying at Major Bajinka's house at mile 7. Nani na bolo di kanya kola nankula kumekani broka bubu nya tana ikanya tana aja kimde lupati Major Bajinka
That's how I know about it, but I don't know with whom. But Amadba raised it in Parliament.
Yeah, mom manjor meno kuyi no ne bajo mimbare. Manjot ama akane de bare Amaduba wangalo freedom of be Parliament.
Mr. Witness, you have a very good memory for events and details.
I'm trying to recollect what I had. No problem.
You have no problem in collecting.
It depends.
And you recall that during those times, a number of journalists were attacked. Mante pongo nuwala matiko jamana ikilai. Kanuman jone kokudi fully metafe eseneti kibarai. Kamenge kulonu.
Yes.
Again.
And this was known to the NIA that this is what the government was doing.
Ban udupo kanka wafa numanjone NIA kumanju matiko mansa yokola kaikal.
I will tell you one incident that I was aware of. I think it was during the July 22nd celebration. There was an officer who was distributing some pamphlets at the I-22.
Pamphlet.
And I thought what is in the pamphlet is not in the interest of government and Yajame, so he was picked from there to the agency. I can't remember, it was a long time.
And what happened to him?
He was detained at the NIA.
Was he beaten?
He was not beaten. But he was warned, because that time the torture was very minimal. He was warned not to do such a thing in front of the executive.
You said at this time torture was very minimal.
Yes.
But you implying that it still used to happen.
Yes, it used to, because when you asked me, I told you yes, it was happening, but that was within. Not even a military or a police officer.
No, police
In fact, you were telling us that those days it was the NIA officers themselves who were doing the torture.
That's true.
And who in the NIA were doing the torturing at that time?
I cannot tell you precisely, but because if you are facing the investigators, whatever happened there, I don't know. But some people were beaten.
Mr.
You can only know it. When they are released, sometimes they are beaten and they are released, so you will see it in the marks in their bodies.
But Mr. Witness, during this time, you are the liaison officer between the NIA and State House.
But I see that, what are you? I will commit to the NIA, the State House.
There was hardly anybody in the NIA who knew more than you.
What I
You knew fully well that your colleagues were torturing Gambians. Each and every one of us has a role to play. And your role, if it has nothing to do with those type of activities, you wouldn't know, because NI is a need-to-know basis sometimes. But Mr. Witness, you had every reason to know. Your responsibility was to convey information back and forth between the NIA and State House.
But I said, I know what woman Jakatum au Brokabia, one busen Woemi, Etebeti Kibara State House, Depot
NIA.
So knowing what was going on was your business.
So uji kerjat manje wonu manjone wo la ko me kabajak wo kankan bro kabiya.
So you would know what was happening as a matter of course, as a matter of routine.
Oto nya foku manje rek wonu manjone wo la ko me kabajak.
If I want to know anything, I will ask my DG, who is my immediate boss, not junior officers.
Imanja be manje wono san. A DJ mba boss mbo oneti me ken.
Your DG.
But let kuim kana manyo ko brok ndemu.
Your DG knew that people who were against the government, who were brought to the NIA, were being tortured.
Bare adiji yapo amman matiko kana manjone kuri bort di mansa wata ekle kutabili jabe NIA kumega.
Yes, but if you ask and he said, well, it is not your business, so keep quiet. There is no further you can go. You just stop there.
But at this time, you knew the people who were doing the torturing. You knew who were the chief torturers of the NIA.
I don't know. I only know investigators, whether they were doing it at their own level, I don't know. But anything I want to know, I ask my DG.
And did you discuss with your DG who was doing the torturing?
There was a day a lady was arrested by giving false information about a coup.
Name of the lady?
And when I entered the reception, I heard cries. Then I went up and said, DG, who is crying there? What's the problem? Said, he is facing double marina and orders.
She or he?
She is facing double marina and orders. I said, what for? He said, the lady gave us false information about an attempted coup, which was not true. I told him, but that doesn't warrant for... He told me, my friend, if you have anything to do, just go. I left.
And who are the people Daba Marina used to work with at the time?
Bukan kayo Daba Marina alakom di Burokab.
Marina is in charge of counter-espionage. They work hand in glove with investigators.
And who were those at the time?
Baba was one of them. Baba Saho. Ode Bari. People like Jim Drame. But Jim Drame was at the training school. He do the training for the new intakes. Sometimes he participated in the operations.
You worked there at the time. Can you tell us with a reasonable degree of certainty who were the other people apart from Daba Marina who were involved in this torture?
Council, let me tell you, you see, investigators, there are many.
We are talking about those who used to work with Daba Marina at the time.
So, those that were doing the torture, I cannot tell you the torture, I cannot tell you precisely, honestly, because I was not part of it. Sometimes I don't even hear where operations are taking place. It's not my role.
the witnesses who testified here about the tortures that occurred at the NIA premises in 1996 and 97 implicate generally the following people: Fode Bari, Baba Saho, Salmina Drame, Daba Marena. Would you say that this is true or false?
Bukan kusiri kanuma njone kusensentate sede yoli di komisionai. Kanuma njone kuteki tek bang pop kutore tora dodi NIA kusensen ures mati kakile ko dodi kannagini kon Daba Marena kan sulai kan Fode Bari
Baba
Saho
Salmina
Drame Mante Maligan.
It could be true because all these people were from the police. Baba was from the police. Everybody was also from the police, transferred to the NI. So whatever happened, because police Baba was a shadow officer at the police. Where he came to the NI. Baba Marena was also a special branch officer in the police before he joined the NSS. Now called
police nlake di limite ko kana kan ko foreme man ko kambroka mambore mujoyeno bikitanga no ken NIA.
But what is the basis of your answer? Is it the suggestion that these people are just from the police and therefore they were torturers?
Ya tenu jume ne kajabi yakia mama berek matiko bukana matiko police kupurmulo yekane manya kutek bukana mante.
That's why I said it could be true, since the witness has said it, but I was not part of it.
Are you suggesting that you were at the NIA, you knew these tortures were going on, you knew that Daba Marena was involved because of the fact that he was running the counter espionage at the unit at the time, but you cannot tell us who else was involved? That's what you want to tell us?
Numa mambere gali matiko au nula koloko buroka be NIA numa manji matiko Daba Marena matiko owa rungume buku numa manji matiko o do butumo do bare umanjut ake anu manjone ateke bukana.
CE is like 25-30 meters from the reception, so if you don't go there, you don't even know what's happening. Very big place, they have so many officers. Unless you go there and know, if you don't go there, you cannot sit and speculate that Mr. XY said. And also the investigation is on the other side of the building, where it's about maybe 10-15 meters away from
Mr. Witness, you had to be occasionally taking this information to State House.
Bare asida awati be wati no waru ngar kiba hayu be State House.
True?
Maligan.
Yes.
Yo Maligan.
And the information that you submit had to be detailed and complete, correct?
Wanu manjone waru teb be State House war kan wa fa manjone ujongen ban po war kan wa fa manjone warime.
Yes.
Yo Maligan.
And for the information to be complete, you need to know who is apprehended, correct?
Bar kibara war mo ngar pumberi wo waru manje an ko safumi.
Not necessarily.
But of course, you had to know who was arrested for your information to be complete. You cannot go to Jaya Jame and say, oh, somebody was arrested. You don't even know whether the person is a man or a woman. And you don't know what the person was arrested for. And you don't know the information provided by the person. You know, if you do that, Jame would call you a fool and send you out of his office.
If I go to Jame, what I will tell him is from what my DG told me. If he wants to clear anything, or he has doubt of what I told him, he calls the DG directly.
And the information would include the names and status of those people arrested.
ban kibara pope panam do karesa keti anaw di pop place
sometimes in a written form, put in an envelope, and then I hand over the envelope.
Yake ko ngibaka safel bandi kandi envelope banya ni ngeni seno.
Sometimes the full details of the person.
Sometimes he will tell me, could tell the president that this and this and this is what is happening here.
I'll
give you one example. During the transition, when Algali Commission was formed, my DG was called at State House. That Yaya said we should arrest all the businessmen who are involved, who are supposed to appear before Jana Commission, Algali Commission. If you arrest them and bring them to the office, then you serve them with subpoenas. Some was very worried. And he called me, explained everything. I said, no. I said, if that is what the president wants, it cannot work. He said, it was Letsu,
Samuel
Letsu, who told the president how they want these people to receive their subpoenas. I said, no. Allow me to go to the president and talk to him and come back to you. Don't call anybody until I come back. I went to the president, told him, look, the DG told me that you asked us to arrest certain businessmen. He said it was Lesu and Musa, the Attorney General, who suggested that. The Attorney General? Inspector General of Police? No, Musa, is it Musa Biti?
Musa Biti?
Yes. Then I said, no. These are prominent businessmen. Just to serve them with a subpoena to appear before Algali Commission doesn't warrant any arrest. I told DG not to do it. He said, okay, go ahead.
You continue.
Tell your DG to stop it.
You would agree with me that the NIA had no business arresting anybody at that time with regards to this particular issue.
But these are the instructions given to my DG from the president.
The president did not care about the law.
So I had to
answer that question. The president did not care about the law.
Yes.
And we were talking about the tortures. The information you would submit to the president include who these people are, why they were arrested for, the information they have provided, and how that information was obtained.
Mati kibara ngarembe baba president karesa ke ana kane wana regumi wa kukano.
If it is on a written form, I will not know what is the contents of the I will only hand over. And then the
But how about where you have to give oral reporting?
Most of my oral briefings have nothing to do with certain activities.
Mr. Witness, you told us that Yaya Jammeh knew about the tortures.
Yeah.
And his channel of communication was the Director General and yourself.
Ban man ayabe mi kibara ye mi au di a Director General.
And both of you were submitting information to him about suspects investigations that have been carried out.
Ban mi ko gabara gila kala kesen o kibara di kubeti kanjuma njone gisof waf ko kane di pop kis kisire ngila ko mekane engese.
When an investigation took place, what they normally do is they write a report and submit it to the DG, the investigators. And DG will look at the report, produce a paper, seal it in an envelope, sometimes I take it to the president or he take it to the president and brief him. What is it?
And in the process, the president would know about those who are tortured and those who are not.
That's true.
Could you answer now?
That's true.
He would have knowledge about those who are tortured.
Oh yes.
And how would he react in these circumstances?
Buna kanani.
Well, that is between him and the DG.
Is he sometimes happy about these things, about these tortures?
He will tell the DG sometimes, teach them a lesson. What type of lesson I don't know. That is the information. Teach him a lesson. DG has to take him to school and teach him a lesson.
But of course, you all knew what that meant. Teach him a lesson, give him a VIP treatment. All of you knew what that meant.
It is up to DG to analyze it and tell the operatives what to do.
Okay, what used to happen in those instances?
DG sometimes tell the operatives, I have an information, the president said, teach him a lesson, or don't do it. Yaya is somebody who is short-tempered, and sometimes if you leave the state house before you reach the office, he will call you and say, stop it, cancel the
What exercise?
He has told you to take the person. You will call and say, stop it.
Just give us an example.
It's a long time, I can't remember everything. Somebody will come and say, okay, release the detainee to go because the president said allow him to go. Sometimes he does that.
But how about the lessons?
No, he will stop everything. Before he reach, he will call him and say, stop it. Stop the lesson and then release him.
But many people were in fact taught a lesson.
Oh yes.
And in all truthfulness, those lessons meant give the person some beating.
Beatings.
So, yes. Whenever President Jammeh said teach the person a lesson, all of you understood that to mean what?
So then President Jammeh arrege jikarandi anaumu miutu jimamanji wanaragmi.
All the operatives, I'm not an operative, so we say all of you,
all NIA officers understood him to mean what?
NIA officers too.
Punish the detainee.
Take.
And what would that punishment entail? Would it be infliction of pain?
They beat him personally.
So So in essence, Yaya Jammeh used to order directly the torture of some of these people.
Wato pirek matiko yaje masine san furima pulman kunat bukana ko man tajiri yo malegende.
Can you give us some examples?
Mante mo regoli man kanu men.
Yaya will never accept any blame, whatever.
Yeah,
He can give you an instructions.
One corner or
You act on that instruction. If you come to know what that the instructions are wrong, he will call the person, make friends with him and tell the person that you know I don't go anywhere. I was told by Mr. Fall that you are this and this and this. That doesn't take blame.
Manani nkoni jenya mtiko umona kamli waranta kamu. Bari nje jot handi banosa njimi lakide bari kari wabi majare go man kari akammi uma.
Are you saying he was a liar?
Wato nyama mandere matiko agajo regajo.
Yaya Jammeh?
Well, it depends on what, it depends, but he will tell you that I believe the person, he told me this against you, now I know he is not true, he's not telling me the truth. Then he will try to reconcile with you, and then you will see that person as your enemy. It happened to so many of us.
Arurja ano mambe ekana jaka wapo. And
in those instances, was he telling the truth?
Yes, because the person who went there told him a lie about you. He will mention the name of the person. So that means he is trying to clean up himself because of Mr. X.
Would you agree that would you agree that in these instances he would be trying to clean himself, as you said, by lying about the true state of affairs?
Mante kusong matiko that fujuma fakiliai amma mambenka seten fanga fola.
No.
It would be half-truths.
He is not lying. He is telling what he had from an individual.
But he would not have told the person that I ordered your torture.
If you call you for reconciliation, he tell you it's because of this and this that happened to you. Mr. X who told me this.
But he would not tell you that he ordered the torture.
But if you tell the person that X told me that you are this and that's why you suffer, that means he's telling you that he has given a wrong order.
But tell us honestly, you are on the oath.
Yes.
Was Yaya Jammeh a truthful person?
My way of understanding.
No, was Yaya Jammeh a truthful person? What things saying generally true. Is he a person who would say you would say is a very honest person? The records are there for us to judge, so tell us the truth.
I don't want to tell you what I don't even know of him. Whether he is a truthful person or not, it's not for me to tell. What I know is
you are Deputy Director General, Director General, and Commissioner. You know whether Yaya Jammeh was a truthful person. You know whether Yaya Jammeh was a truthful person. Answer the question. Tell the Commission truthfully whether Yaya Jammeh was a truthful person.
Truthfulness is very vague. You can say this true, this is wrong. So if you want to generalize,
dodging the question.
No, if you want to generalize whether the man is truthful or not, I will say yes and then say no.
Okay, give us examples of instances where he was not truthful.
If you sit with Yaya Jammeh, you try to show him what you can, he will tell you something that you know that the man is not telling me the truth.
mante ko hani aw fa ngala ko to mo do po man
Give us example.
mante mo ragali
We heard about the dragon at the Kerewan Bridge.
I don't know about Canada, but what I do know is I will look at this tree and tell you what it entails, which is not true.
Would he do that often?
Not often. That is when he is in a good mood, you sit and chat with him, say, look at this. Do you know what is it? You tell him, and he said, no, it's not true. How can you look at a tree and tell what it entails or what is there? Keep it as a joke.
What was his reason for doing that? Would you say it was just to self-aggrandize, to put himself above everybody else?
One suffer matu wakane man akama mante kanka akane kan man kana kusafo matiko ombo fatiara mama njitu.
He wants you to know that any knowledge you have, his knowledge is more than yours.
Mangi mambi sidi matiko au ham elonde au baje o yola fange yiya.
He was superior to everybody else.
This is it.
Kankana unya o so matiko fange bukana kutu.
Just like he had the cure for everything.
The cure started when we were all away from him.
But it was all part of the same thing. Make you believe that he is superior, he is big.
That's true.
Please, do you want to hear the answers?
That is true.
That's right. It was all a lie.
It depends.
It was all a lie.
As I know, I cannot judge that because he knows better why he is doing that. So, for me, I will only say what I know.
Mr. Witness, we know why he was doing it. You have told us. You said he was doing all that because he wanted to be seen as superior, having superior knowledge to everybody else.
Now, the people he was treating, according to what we had, should be in a position to tell whether the treatment works or not. Not me or any of my family.
All the witnesses we heard from said that it was a lie.
It is possible.
But you even know it was a lie.
I started this sometimes around 2005-06 when we were away from him. So I want to know where he got that knowledge or how he does about it.
2005
But you would agree that it was part of the same system of making people believe things that are simply unbelievable, things that are just not true.
That's true. That's true.
He was a liar, pretty much, essentially.
If we all agree with the people he was treating that he's a liar, then he's a liar. But it's not for me to tell because I've never for treatment or whatever or any of my family to confirm to me that what this man has told me is a lie. So I cannot say that.
You are talking over each other, so you have to hear the interpretation.
Sorry. Let him interpret. Let I interpret, and I will repeat what I said.
Okay, could you repeat what you said first?
I said those he was treating, and all of us here, if we agree that he's lying on those things he thought he knew, then we all agree that he's a liar. But it's not for me to tell as an individual that yeah, he's a liar, because I've never applied any of his medicine, so I wouldn't know.
Nene comme bukana kana sontemi di ala diri ala puja moraja murega mate ko ya gajora nani ha yo mele ala puja mora murega mate ya jam gajora bare inji leti nyeti merege parce que nge musu joy sonten wala ni jom mije natu do ka sonten sa ko dimbaye mo wan ko rek mo wo ala tum ka jamora murega mate ya gajora di ka sonten akola.
Mr. Witness, we're just putting to you the propositions. It's not our personal view or anything. We're just putting to you the propositions because you know him better, you dealt with him, so that you can answer the questions to help the commission better understand who this person was.
I say that only cleans in Dorong Boom of the one Tommy, or Umanjan Waragimi. Only Umatu to Ban Umanju to Bare Au Uman Regoli Puman.
Has he ever told you things that are not true?
Mantam Saragwa for Umanjan or for Numan with Cantman again.
That's the example I gave you. And when I was with him, he has never mentioned me his knowledge of curing this or curing that. Because I know if you tell me, I will ask him how. How are you going to cure? All these things were happening when he knew that somebody who really challenges me is no longer with me. So I can do whatever I like.
You said he would do anything he liked. Would you say including lying to the Gambian people with reckless abandon?
Yes.
No one sumo me one academy. Mante no reg matiko urupop rodo kagajorak eregate wafa manjone kantumalagen ko Gambian.
Yes.
Yes.
You said it. He lied to the Gambian people with reckless abandon. That's your testimony, Mr. Witness.
Aurege none nagajo aregul ku Gambian wa fa manje malegen ba mutumo bulet.
I'm answering your question.
And you said yes.
What I know about Yaya, that's what I'm telling you. So it is not my suggestion. Lying. It is true. The people he claimed to be treating who said he's a liar. And I also believe he's a liar. None of my family went to him or myself to confirm that the man is lying or is true. No.
Malegende bukana kana sonte me ko kuregeta ta non ko ne mo sonte nya mana na sonte ni sonne ka gajo bar kan tinge gebe bo wala dimba yembo na ko na gebe bo mba sonte ni wala ko kuregemete ko na kammi malegen wala kantu malegen.
To conclude this point, you just told us that you believe that he is a liar.
Pour manu ubana elobeye woto aw mu uregemete ko nu sonsong mete ko agajo.
Yes.
Ni ni sonsong.
Thank you very much. You became Deputy Director General.
No, Ujojo can Director General, Deputy Director General.
In 2002.
Emitted 2002.
Correct?
Yes.
And this happened at a time where there were lots of detentions that were unlawful.
Bandu bajo bajo wate manjone kusosa bukan kamenge ban esofeli ejo tribunal.
I can't remember anybody being arrested, detained during that time.
We have extracted the detention register. The list of people who were unlawfully detained. At this time, what was the maximum limit for detention before the person must be taken to before a judge?
Very key. Not more than 72 hours.
I have placed before you a list of people who were detained during your time as Deputy Director General.
wate an la ko deputy director general.
And these detentions were all unlawful.
Ban esofen kusof bukana kutu jawte de luwai.
If you look at 2002, you have a list of about 65 people.
Ujike jat kaita kati 2002 puju kan kono kan ku fegi di futok. Kabanan fegi di futok.
It's possible.
Well, did it happen?
Ante bajo.
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Well, we have extracted this from the detention register.
Urudi kaita kaisen mi kankana kan ku sof to
kept by the NIA.
Kono manjone NIA ko ku nenen kaita ko bon tablom.
Look at the names.
Possibly
you would recognize some of them. The first name on that list is Mr. Lamin Sane. Do you recognize that name?
If it is Lamin Sane from State Guard, yes.
Kanja Lamin Sane, I'm State Guard.
That was in which year?
Yeah, it says 2002.
2002.
Lamin Sane in State Guard occurred when? Was it 2000 or 2002?
Lamin Sane State Guard. 2002 monte
Around 2002, if I can remember.
2002
Was he detained beyond the statutorily allowed
He
limit?
was not detained at the NIA. He was detained at the military police, and they normally bring him for questioning and taking. He was not at the NIA.
Babu military police boku sofo kunen man he ko ngallo be dir NIA.
Well, the detention register of the NIA said Lamin Sane detained for 8 days at the NIA.
Kaita kasafere mun kuisen kana kan kusofno kuise se matiko Lamin Sane kuno futok di kufeg sofo bo NIA.
But the issue here is, do you dispute that during your time as deputy DG, people were being detained unlawfully at the NIA?
Kuye fangyo tate wandi man me manje woen mante au muson song matiko wata amla ko me DGI deputy DGI NIA mante kana kusofe sof kunene ban jawtu duluwai.
I was not disputing.
Nyeti balang de mate bajo de.
It therefore means you will agree that under your authority as deputy DG and under the authority of the Director General, people were detained in violation of the law at the NIA.
Wato kankan au pusom matiko nang lako me ernungay nulako di furungaf mati awam deputy director di pop director iya jila ko lake soft bu nak ban revolt di luwai.
If the DG give instructions, there is nothing I can do about it. Just
yeah, DG asena mi fruma. Ba jotto hani sembe.
While you are prepared to hide behind, I was not completely in charge, let's look at what happened when you were fully in charge.
Konka nanulako to me erunge from yaw babaj anuribe. Aw kabala monone babaj anuribe o wasen furimaf. Nyaaw jikeranen aw famu ulako me erunge.
That was in
2003.
August 2003 to December 2003.
Yo kanka ni 2003
look at the list.
December 2003.
There were about some 20-something people who were also detained unlawfully.
2003 kan kabanan di waf ko po ku office of ban jawtu duluwai.
Have you seen it?
Juju kuba.
Would you take responsibility for those illegal detentions?
Pan song matiko au kane manka kile ku sofi ban jawtu duluwai.
But these people were detained well before I became DG.
Have you ever protested these illegal detentions?
This was during the late Kebasi's time.
Have you ever queried these illegal detentions?
No. No.
You went along with them?
Yes.
So therefore you are equally culpable, you are equally responsible.
Woto panene au po mijondomi.
I will say yes because I cannot disobey my director.
Atutanenya anifanu mwana rege metimoni balamfo.
No, it is not about disobeying your director. This is about all of you senior officers being responsible for this system at the NIA wherein people would be unlawfully detained.
Kant matiko kabalang furim fati arongimi baru kankan wafa manjon mi janu manjon mi jurungumi NIA wanjila kane kane ban ribut.
Yes.
Do you regret it?
Mante kanka wafa manjone kani kan wafat elambulumuk.
I regretted everything that happened to that agency since I was employed there. Not only this case, because that was why I am not happy with the system. I had to see a way to stop it. That was why you see that none of the detainees will ever tell you that Mr. Kujabi was part of this, was part of that. And I saved a lot of people here from all these problems.
Give us examples.
I went to Taiwan on a mission. 3 technicians from Governmental were arrested.
What are their names?
I don't even know them. But the reason given was there was no telephone for a whole day. When they were asked, they said the parts they were supposed to change, they did not change until everything blown up. I was in Taiwan every day. I will call the office and talk to my deputy. When the late Senisuso. And he told me the problem at Governmental. I told him, now go and look for one of those technicians and ask him whether they've made a requisition for those parts. And if he said yes, try and get that requisition and photocopy it and keep it for me until I come. When I called him the following day, he said, yes, he have got the requisition. I told him, now, I'm coming this date. Let us meet at the airport. Immediately I arrived. When I arrived at the airport, he gave me the requisition. From the airport, I called President Jammeh. I told him I'm back, I'm at the airport, soon I will be at home. And I asked him, what is new in this country? And he said, this time, I am with Governmental. What happened? He said, you see these technicians, telephone went off the whole day. I told him, are you sure that this is the fault of the technicians? He said, how do you know that? I said, yes, I know it's not their fault. The technicians are not given tools to work. How can they work?
Eno me ku technician ku senti se bagasa mambe ku rok nyampu ko to me roke.
I told him, in fact, I'm going to my house. I'll pack my baggage and come to the state house.
Ya neno me ko njuka nyoto ne nyanje mbe jo be sinde me pack se bagasa sumbo pibil mo jo ko jo ko ranya.
It was around 7 o'clock in the evening.
Kankana watati 7 sa fitire.
When I went,
Ya ni jomi.
he said, yes, tell me, what do you want?
Nona regambi nyaare ko wanu mangi.
I took out the requisition and showed it to him.
Ni problem kay dako.
This technician have wrote a request to the MD.
Nane kay dako ko technician ko ba safere man ko ne ude ko mangi.
But the MD said he's not going to approve it until he goes to South Africa and come back.
But MD wana jabi nane to o approve and you mante
So if the equipment got blown in the absence of the MD, what do you expect the technicians?
Yeah, si bagasa si blow nya di bilen kabati MD nya buno to meka bu eto mekane
He said, hey, you are right.
Nana mi ha nukonko.
He called Azarinya Sidi,
Wana wonku mi Aissatou Sidi.
asked her to release those people immediately and let them go back home.
Seno frima na akate mboko nyame mona akate nunku jobu.
And tomorrow he will deal with the MD.
Kajom pana pankuju ko ndi MD.
He gave him the requisition and went home.
Ngini ni seno meka itakati buko kambuko kuisemi.
And after a long period,
Na jomi manti pia.
I met up with one of them. He said, do you know? I said, no, I don't know. He said, I am the one who was working for Governmental, and I was arrested.
Na kenga mi manje manja mande no mi hani manje na ningi la kombura kabdi Governmental ye kusofoli au bi mo jo rambe no linya.
I don't want people to be taking advantage on others.
Ni ngi manje ma anona ho mboy kam mo ano.
Well, all that may very well be true. But during your time too, illegal detentions used to happen.
When I was DG, every morning if I reach the office, my first point of call would be at the investigation. If I meet anybody sitting there, what I do is I ask the person, not the officer. What are you doing here?
It took that ano manalaki ngi kengiri handi ko rakakde ngi keng ano fani took dum kama wano this day.
Somebody brought me here because I owe him money.
But panare go mate ngi ananga lombe de mate ko baba
don't take your things and leave the office.
And
then I advised the officer in charge. It's not a collection center, it's not a police. Police. Civil matters don't go to the police.
But did it stop?
During my time here, it stops.
Well, it's quite obvious that during your time as Deputy DG and DG, there were still illegal detentions going on.
He says matiko non la komi erunge non la komi deputy DG non la komi DG tu kula ke so fe bukana ban kante di buro
unless if it happens and I was not aware.
Sometimes
if I travel and such things happen, I wouldn't know. Before I come back, those people are released. So I didn't know. While I am here, anybody you bring, you must tell me why. Otherwise, you will join him. All the officers know that. All the officers at the agency knows that I'm not going to condone such things. When I left the office, when I was arrested,
do you realize that the part of the book dealing with the period where you were Director General disappeared?
Mantenu ujuju kumatiko haita kakenni waita wakenni au nanula kome erungay wabajo mi do NIA tu mantu matiko kuyema yema.
I don't know. Even myself, when I was arrested, you know what happened? He arrested me and asked me what have I done. I said, well, even if I kill somebody, you think I'll come here and tell you I killed somebody? You arresting me, you must tell me what have I done, right? I'm here.
Yeah, but Kiri, the work and the Monk of it. No, I also from Yawar Murigi, when you can Andy Buja. I found what I recommend to Anna Buja, but I also from Nulali baking Wakani.
We are coming to your arrest immediately. That was the next topic to look into. But was this normal that people would be arrested and the reason for their arrest is not even known to those who conducted the arrest?
It is not normal.
Was it occurring frequently?
Not always, but it used to happen.
How many times were you arrested?
3 times. 3 times.
And can you tell us the times you were arrested? Give us details of each incident.
My first arrest was in May 2004.
So Fembo me follow kankan fuliang afati me de mitete 2004.
I went to work at Birkama. I closed.
Perhaps maybe we should start from your sacking at the NIA.
I was redeployed.
Yes.
With immediate effect.
What happened?
And I reported at Birkama.
Tell us what happened. What necessitated your redeployment?
What happened was, I was in London. I was sitting with the High Commissioner, Mr. Jibril Juve, in his office.
The High Commissioner, Jibril Juve.
Then the then DPP, Ajim, called. Wherever you call me, get me. And he told me, where are you? I said, well, I'm not in the Gambia. Then he said, well, I wanted us to discuss about Baba Job's case. But I don't know how will I take it up. I told him, DPP, you are the legal advisor of the president. Secondly, it is the ports that have a problem with Baba Job, not Yaya Jammeh. So if you said you don't want to go to court with Baba Job, go and discuss with the president. But first of all, call the IG who was then landing 13 Baji.
But follow
discuss it with him.
IG and man no me landing 13 Baji.
When he called 13 Baji and discussed with him,
Nana call me 13 Baji marego.
Because it was 13 who arrested Baba Job. Then he mistakenly he told 13 that I've just discussed with Mr. Kujabi and he asked me to see you before we go to the president. Then 13 told him, there is no need, I will go to the president and I'll tell him. When 13 went to the president, I was in UK. He told Yaya Jammeh that on the whole, Abdullah is twisting the DPP's arm not to take Baba Job to court.
How do you know that?
I have an insider in State House who told me. And what I responded was, the reason why he is doing that because he thinks he is an NIA director. He is powerful. But I will redeploy him.
Power at the time belonged to Yaya Jammeh, wasn't it?
But he referred that to
Answer
me.
the question.
Yes.
Power at the time belongs to Yaya Jammeh.
Semba wata ikila Yaya Jammeh kila.
Yes, that's true.
Yo malegen.
So anybody in the system who exercised power that he did not like would be taken as an affront to his own power.
Nya ano manjone ombodi burok di o mu yisen matiko aw nururung aw anakilay o katiken.
That's true.
Yo malegen de.
And therefore he would deal with you.
Pa muyene.
And he dealt with me, honestly.
The moment tikana many fun.
Tell us how.
Regoli buma.
I came back from London on Sunday.
Nyana ni lalo mi London funa cafe dimase.
Yaya came back from the Commonwealth in Nigeria on Monday.
Yaya po na lalo mi Nigeria Commonwealth di tenenge funa cafe tenenge.
On Tuesday, I went to his office to brief him my mission in London.
Nya di talata no jombere office pile go bronga bumbum mani job meno London.
In front of the Secretary General Alungom.
Di kafutile fe Secretary General Alungom.
And I went back to my office.
No ni lambe office mbo.
At night,
Karai.
I went to his house, we sat, we blew attire.
Jombe do sindeola no lakom labe mi ataye.
We ate some roast meat.
No tokameli yang kubole.
I went home.
Jombo.
On Wednesday,
Na cafe arabai.
around between 3 and 4,
Watati sitalang suno si feji mante besi baki wate sumai.
Dabo Marina came to my office.
Ramana nona bilumbiri de office
And he said,
Nana
"Hey,
Nana mi boy.
I have a letter for you."
Iwaja letter and wanwanye yoli.
Then he produced the redeployment letter.
Nona ngalo mi letter and wanyo ko beka.
And then he wanted to be nice. I said, "No, don't worry. I've seen the letter.
Na mambe erege neno hani tambu.
I will give you the keys because they say with immediate effect. Hold the key to the office. Tomorrow we meet here. I do my handing over."
Nano neno mi nya si chabes ni piseni so. Nyame parce que letter on rek ngoni nyame kanyum buju mbubil mi seni si
He said,
bagata.
"No, you can keep it till tomorrow."
Hani on yonden beka jumbu.
I took my car and the letter. I went to the State House.
Na ninga me wotembo disi si chabes mi jomante be State House.
When I went, I was announced.
Ni jombe iring do ko regolmente ko njibibi.
I entered his office.
No ke mante be do di office
I
wala.
met him bending his head down.
Ni to ko mona nyipi fu ko fola.
Told him, "Sir,
You know mi sa
I've got this letter now,
letter o nyame ko senayo.
and it is not from a messenger.
Andum kantumante ga anku bollo.
But somebody who is supposed to take over from me.
Bare anu mange o to me is ngare place mbo o fonga ngalo me letter.
Are you aware of this?"
Jangjam.
He said, "Yes, you know,
Nana
I want you to go to Brikama.
parce que
I'm
mama
having
mudo
difficulty with
Brikama.
my politics." I said, "Stop there.
Ke ni jomba baje kolya di politics. Neno mu junto.
It is not what happened.
Can't what one manje baje.
Somebody told you something against me.
Waf ana regi waf
Tell.
He lied to you.
He said, "No, don't take it."
He lied to you.
Yeah. I said, I told him, between you and me, today is going to be the last day for you to see me, to sit with me eye to eye. I know that.
Neno me ngidi aw jati me kanefuna falla bango
Those people that I tell you against me,
amerege kuembu
you will come to know it later.
apurujo manji bellum nemite
I
manji
said, I'm going. That's what I came to tell you.
eno njomba je yo kemni jala bere
Then when I reached at my house,
na lidi misindembu
he called my wife trying to say, "You see, your husband is angry."
na
Blah, blah,
call
blah.
me ase ko mona commencer ko konji
I told my wife to
kenya fola furiri bala
I told my wife to get away from it. Let him not even interfere.
ni na se ko mu purendo tuma betam hanuru
This is
tuma
between me and Yaya Jammeh.
o kankan digante injidi ya
Did you feel betrayed?
Man to sof mate ko Yaya Jammeh na wala.
Even if he asked me to go back to that place, I will never go back there.
hani ya jamala nyalli ni mane lambe do la ko kam tani la nyilo beru fereng
Why did you feel betrayed?
Waka mu sof mate ko Yaya Jammeh wala mi wala.
One, the way and manner
parce que mana
that was brought to me was wrong.
man ko ngala me letare biri inje fang
I was with him on Tuesday
ngidi o
up to the night.
ngidi o la ke tinta kon fana ka
Nothing, he didn't tell me anything about this development.
regutom hani no san ku ndi wajedu
Just for Marina to bring a letter.
de e ke jiki ni jokko ma ina mana sella me letare
I felt it
place imbo ngi wara sey o fango marina mo kam ni jukku mante ko ya jamani jam fa
But that was normal.
It was not normal.
That's how Yaya Jammeh used to do things.
Other people, yes, but not to me. Not to me.
Do you think that you were also part of the royal family? You deserve a different treatment from everybody else?
Man tawso sof matiko aw wula ko la ko di kan manjone ku wali waldi yaaji mi fasim fakon ban awarta kani fasoni na kanam kake.
Yes, I am Yaya's cousin, first cousin for that matter.
And therefore you deserve better treatment compared to...
You would have told me. You would have told me in advance before. In such a way. Then
at least you are lucky they did not send special operations to come and slap you around and push you around to get you.
That time, nobody dares to touch me.
You are powerful.
Now what happened is, I told him, look, if you ask me to go and clean the streets of Banjul, that will be the interest of the Gambia and you, I will do it for you. I'm not following you because of position.
It was not for position, it was blind loyalty.
That's true.
Do you see a problem with that? That our public officers would be blindly loyal to the head of state. The loyalty should be to the constitution and the law of the country. It should be to the state and not the individual.
That is completely different from my case.
And why is that?
I am of the same blood with Yaya Jammeh. If there is anything to go by, I think I owe that respect from him.
And do you see the impropriety, well, I wouldn't say illegality, but the inappropriateness of your appointment in the first place, seeing fully well that you did not have the qualifications to become Director General, and he appointed you to that position simply because you were his cousin, and therefore you just owe him blind loyalty.
Mantenu jujuk ujiker tate wafan muni akankam ban warta fankan fala yemi na sen place na seni murung let matiko aw no bama juwaita karan lende ye lindinto bare matiko miji wali batia ye kama seni.
Not only that,
and to your cap.
When I was working in the civil service years before Yaya, I was not there. Something terrible would have been happening in this country. I had to stop everything because he knew I knew the country better than him. He has never been a civil servant.
But the point I am trying to make here is this tit for tat compensation of family members by appointing them to positions that they were not qualified for, in exchange for this blind loyalty.
To
the extent that there is blind loyalty to the political leader, even if it means violating the laws of the country. Do you see a problem with that?
No.
Ani?
Are you serious?
Malagan.
Yes.
And this is what you stood for.
And tak fujuma fi ato from me.
And that is why we had unbridled power in this country. That's why we had a dictatorship.
Yeka mubaja semba numanjone ewarte bajo bampop mubaja waf arunga numanjone furuma fola kep fofu jumen.
You see, Council, with the little experience I have, both in the civil service and in public,
Sure.
I played a very important role by going close to Yaya Jammeh since 1994. Everybody knows about it.
Yes, but we are also concerned about the illegalities and the abuse of power.
Barapo oli tan orom toemi kakajana ketu luwai dipo.
Are you happy with the situation?
I am not.
Mante sumisu.
I am not happy.
But this was abuse of power.
Barawuru kankan engar wawuje wan semba yesenini.
Well, Yaya Jammeh, as I told you, the uniform is down, but the mind, still a military mind. And finish with it.
Well, the purpose of the TRRC is to ensure never again that these things would happen in our country. And that's why we're interrogating these things. The fact that people are appointed to positions that they are not qualified for, the fact that people are just bribed with positions because they are family members in order to buy their loyalty, the fact that the laws of this country are not giving, they're honored more in their breach than in their observance.
Bare wakame fagman TRRC ye ejumeni ye mi wanuma wafanuma jene baje mbajo balcha takumlani bajo furi ba fankore gen never again takumlani bajo benen wajo mi de estimate ano place di wanuma jene lunde la eri mutupo ananuma jone jiwoli wal musaba place wala engare place ya mu ubala feriya keken.
Sometimes it may not even be family members, but people that are loyal to him, he can give you positions just to strengthen your loyalty with him and your family members or whatever.
And
Niki kantu mateko and bukana kanuma nimeko kuogede. Bare bukana numna jikere hani ananuma njime kupulo tutinda konsa elupia konsa ba numango ban karambe nonde panseni palasi.
do you find a problem with that?
Big problem.
After you stop benefiting from it, it's now a big problem.
That's why I told you I have been fighting the little I can to stop certain things. If I am enjoying, I will just let things go. Whoever is facing the problem, let him face it. I will say it's not my business, but no.
Anja lemo wato bukana kadra mbe mitingo ni rambe ni wala ni joko namane kane warante kan pani ni kato man ngol akan banne ni hani ta warante kamo.
We have received a lot of evidence here that this pattern continued at the NIA. People were being recruited even though they did not have the qualifications, and they were appointed to positions for which they were not qualified.
Baranuba batari sera sa jupo e sei sera matiko bukanak koko boka jupo e kanumanya kungari ngar buroka abdo NIA lunderi eri mutuba nikusani se plazas.
That is true. The witness who testified, Alamin Dawo, was employed as a security guard. He is an officer. Many of them are there. But yes.
Don't you see that one of the reasons for the poor performance, consistent of, say the underdevelopment of this country is partly because of the fact that this country, we depend on completely unqualified people to lead this country in several respects.
Yes.
Mantenu cross
I mean
cross.
the government, the public service.
Mantenu cross cross matiko fully matafe mansa. Wakam me esukele to by jo fachule. Ye me kankungere man kurok. Kuseneliti buraka matiko lendeli erinito bare kambanjora tika volora ku kanami. Ye kan esuke ngwan ta jo fachule.
That is true.
Yo malegen.
Because a lot of systems that were happening during the colonial time and the First Republic were not happening now.
Ado jike ja kuyela ko me jaay dire mu famno kabe wata di ko kubebo ko di president nga follow ma ko yekile le
In
bo
those
nyame
days, you apply for, you sit for a government entrance, you go to the clerical school for 9 months, you are trained to become a clerical assistant, but nothing is happening now. And
No,
you go for probation for 3 good months before your appointment is confirmed. This is not happening now.
no ngari ja broka ko be jo ko karangi e ko manjal ko jo kuisini broka mam ko botam be ko ekane bikitim ko commencer broka par ñu le yo le do ekan.
Now let's go to your first arrest.
Nyambu jabe non ko sofin butira.
You have been moved from NIA as Director General and then
To become as commissioner.
Birkama as Commissioner.
Ku pureni tatu tatu NIA non la ko ni Director General mon ku dañi ni be Birkama.
But even in this appointment, would you agree that it was also a favor to you
Hani
as
plus
a family member?
Hani place en ko seni nya fang mante pour song matiko ko ba seneri matiko kuma mambe karameni mati au anati dimbaya.
Even the position of a cleaner, as long as I'm receiving salary, is a favor.
Ani yan ko tebon place anu man mi awena jawena ko ko e cha membo fulenga yo ngipi mante ko tejak.
I am sure that you are much more qualified for the position of cleaner.
Setom set matiko au karanye e wujo place eti an awena.
Whatever.
But for the position of commissioner,
Yo
Mare di place eta commissioner.
don't you think that that was also just a favor to you, considering you are a family member?
Fiu mutu matiko a place kila ku seni rek mati au kankan anati dimbaya ba let matiko londe ya.
But 95% of my predecessors at the commissioner's office, I am far better than them.
nani bara ujike ja kan kam mingi de commissioner de lan ko la ko broka de commissioner ngi fangi.
Well, that shows how rotten the system was, doesn't it?
Yo e ise system man e kanyami eno.
Do you agree?
Mante no sonso.
Depends on who appointed who and what.
We are talking about the president appointing his relatives and friends who he knows are not qualified for those positions to which they are appointed.
Wano mari ya gay wani mi a president now. Place ena senen kanu manjone ku palo di kan awolor mi banna mani matiko kakara ka kole kuli muto.
Still,
Do you think that is right?
Man to so mate baba kanka wawara kan.
if you put the experience behind, it is not right, but sometimes
knowledge of
what you are doing, dedication, I mean, it's okay.
Well, the reason why you are able to, this is the same answer that Lamin Dabo gave us. And you are here laughing of his appointment as an officer. Well, he was appointed more than an officer, he was appointed officer commanding.
Ban officer commander.
So that signals how bad the system was. In your view, should this be corrected for the betterment of this country?
Of course, yes.
So you would agree with me that at minimum, the people who are appointed to positions should and must be qualified to man those positions.
What plus puri bodinje matiko anamman ko war kuseno plus murok di mansa waru baj waita anamman ise se matiko awlundo yeri reto.
What is the essence of learning? Yes.
And for an institution like the National Intelligence Agency,
Ujikeja office kind National Intelligence Agency.
the importance of these officers meeting the educational requirements is critical.
Kuma fang purman anuman jone pa rokudo purman waita wala wati londo eringo.
You agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, Mama.
Okay. Now, for how long did you serve as governor?
Simi sana butu mulaka governor.
January, February, March, April, May.
Kabiri January mante be fulenga ko May.
2 weeks.
Fulenku baki sio kumsigaba.
And then what happened?
Nya na wujme tawo baje.
I was terminated.
Gujom ko kesorom.
Tell us what happened before you were terminated.
Uregoli wa baje jam kesori.
I was arrested by the NIA personnel.
Kala ko mbura kabiri NIA ko kubila kusafon.
But the team was led by Major Bajinka, the state guard.
Bare warungi miyomi Major Bajinka anwenye state guard na purlo.
What does that tell you?
Do waregi
That he is instructed.
Nane obabonyero ya jamna seno from mbaja safon.
And then what happened when you were arrested?
nanko arrest ni wa baje.
I was taken to the NIA.
Obatebe mbidi NIA.
Tell me, Mr. Witness, was it really lawful that you were arrested by Major Badinka and taken to the NIA?
Aseda uragon man te do di luwai man Major Bajinka ajo asofi ma tebe be NIA.
I don't know what they were told, but when I came out, I saw a lot of cars,
Imagine
the,
what
police, the NIA and this Bajinka surrounding my house.
Barna ni pulo mi yejuk si woto samme. Kabiri military police NIA. Kanka mengi man ngome lupe.
Major Badinka was a bodyguard to Yaya Jammeh, wasn't he?
Major Bajinka kanka ananuma njone na poye po Yaya Jammeh
State guard commander in those days.
O akame state guard commander watakilia.
And his job description was to remain at State House and be close to the president to protect him.
Bamburo kabola mamusen meno yemi mala kudo State House ma poy a president.
In essence, he had no business interfering with you.
Woto jat abajuten hani haji be joy out.
Let me tell you one interesting thing.
Milo biwa fake pop. Maje kume fa.
Yaya called me in my house line.
Ya Jammeh bonkiringi telefonete lupembo.
We spoke. He said, I have not seen you for days. I said, well, I'm busy in Burma, trying to set up certain things, blah, blah.
Na kambenge neno ngene busy.
I said, whenever you are ready, just come.
Birikama. Nana me okay, ujoja kupareja ambujo.
When I put the telephone down,
Nani wale mi telefone.
just for Bajinka to know that Abdullah is there, go in.
Purumambi ammanyi matiko. Purumambi Bajinka ammanyi matiko abla umdo jo noken.
Then Bajinka came in and said, I am asked to come and pick you. I said, I'm just talking to the president.
Yeah, Bajinka nona
you want to confirm that I'm here. Let's go.
Ya nona nokelem nana nge president apolo mambi sofini kama president wana wonkanya purumambi ammanyi matenjo mdire. Ina kama nyauja.
In essence, you telling the commission that Yaya Jammeh engineered your arrest?
Oh yeah.
Woto ambo ere commission emete ko Yaya Jammeh o
Yes.
atamandi arrest ya.
Yes.
And then he called to find out whether you are there in the house.
Banna wonki mamman mante wata ikla amto sindela.
Yes.
And by which time he had already organized for your house to be surrounded.
Wata ikla toto fang ma bonye pur mam kumam fang kumongomor fang kaftin.
And to ensure that you are indeed nabbed, he sent his personal security to come and pick you up.
Man rek kusafi na boñ anuman jone o war ma poyo ma ju non kusafi.
I will tell you something also very interesting. When I
Ilani rege furin fake fanu manya pampalu jakali de.
was taken to the NIA,
Nankuteba me bebe abu NIA.
Marna said, wait, let me talk to the president.
Marina nana me kop komisan kina president
He
follow.
spoke,
Kusanke me.
he came,
Nana me.
and said, I was told that you are spoiling the president's name in the West Coast.
Nana me kura gare kone awala ke kakajen kata kata president babu.
But I have to detain you here.
Are ha fake sofi nen ila kendiri.
I said, okay, no problem.
You come to problem.
But I want to know what did I say That is spoiling the president's name. And where and when? Even though you did not tell me who told you. He said, no, we are not told, but we are told that you are spoiling his name. I don't know who was standing. Captain Baji, the IG was standing. Jeso, the deputy was there. And Abunjai, they were also there. And then they took me to one of the rooms and they left. I spent the night in NIA. So interestingly, in the morning, when they came, they said they are going to take me to the house. They want to search my house. I said, what precisely do you want from my house? He said, anyway, when we reach, you will know. When we arrived in the house, the president was looking for something. On the whole, the bag that is containing my duties is the one they wanted to take.
You had a bag load of
I said, open it, you know. When you open it and show the duties, you return it. They are taking this one along. I said, okay, the police officer put the bag on his shoulder.
Yeah, a police on a bag and in the cabanda cola.
He left my bedroom.
Now we better loop it in the morning.
He fell down until he nearly fainted.
But in an alome, Nalomante was second.
Why was that?
I don't know. He said he was going to take the bag. I said, I know this is what you came for. We went outside. Every driver said the bag is not going to his car. I said, my friend, don't play with me. Abdullah has so many Jesus. Go and bring them before one driver volunteered. Anyway, I'm just a driver. I said, my friend, nothing will happen to you. And he put the bag in the car. He go back to Band. They went straight to the police. He went to the serious crime. And when Tatin Baji knew I was there, he called the guys and said, take this man back to them, and this is not our case. Then they took me back to the NIA.
And the bag?
Then with the bag. They just put the bag at the corner far from me. And then they did not allow anybody to touch it. I spent 2 nights there. Thursday night, Marina sent Sheka to come and release me to take me home. And then he said, sir, about your bag. I said, I did not bring it here. So who brought the bag should take it back. I'm not going to take it. So I went home. My nephew who was working for them.
Working for who?
For the NIA, a driver. Marina called him to say, look, take your uncle's bag home because nobody is there to talk to you and you are a relative. Called me. He said, okay, bring my bag back. And he took my bag and brought it home.
And were you told, were you ever given the information you requested about your arrest?
Yeah,
that was what they told me, that you are spelling the president's name. That
was all. How soon after that were you arrested again?
What kutumbe ngare ganun ko lang ko sa
And in 2005,
Ano jambe emitan kuna in 2005.
But before you get to that, did you bring a bag of juju with you here today?
Nya bala udi nya bo bagi it sa ka bangalo mu billi me hani.
Well, thank God.
I was about to end the meeting.
Ale wot kenya no ngala ngalo meeting lo beka jumi fono.
I would have shown it to Esa before.
Ne pani si se ne bage esa bala ko ma kala kak.
I am the problem, isn't it?
Nya the problem can't.
What happened is when that was the day my brother was arraigned before a magistrate court in Birkama.
Nani fana kafakila no kutegma atiom be Birkama magistrate court.
Which of your brothers?
Gisaja Kujabi.
Gisaja Kujabi. Gisaja.
That was the day he was released on bail.
Fana kafakila pop no kuno mi bini.
While we were in Birkama,
Nako mi Birkama.
James was called to the NI that they want to see him.
James ko ba kero be dire NI ko ne ko mo ambe joko.
James who? James who?
James Anga.
Kujabi, my younger brother.
James Kujabi
Now in the US. He was detained there.
From US ko ba so fero do kunendo tintakon.
And Ansuman, when we came with my brother to his house,
Nyana ni bi mingina atiom be de lo fanga fola. Pakistan.
The NIA and the police went for Ansumana.
NIA ko di police no ku jombe jo
My brother.
Ansumana o popatiom.
The wife called while we were sitting in my brother's house.
Se ko na won ko mi toker ol numla ke diri
Police are here for you.
Ana me police ko ke aw ko jamulo.
He went.
Jomi bebo.
He was arrested and taken to mobile police.
Arimbo mi rek ko sofo man ko tebo be mobile police.
So easy. James Kujabi, your brother, arrested and taken to the NIA.
James Kujabi ati kusofo saf kutebo be NIA.
And Ansumana Kujabi arrested and taken to?
He spent the night in the mobile police.
Mobile police.
That morning he was transferred to Sarengai.
Sarengai.
Fatu bujumre no ko bo mi Sarengai. Belum ka be basse.
And that day, the following day,
at night, fatka jom fukarai.
They came for me.
No ko jalan be so fembu.
Both the police and the NIA said I'm under arrest.
Police, the kapulum NIA.
Said they are taking me to the NIA. When we arrived at mile 2, I saw them coughing inside mile 2.
Na nuri me mile 2 ni juki manku ku coffee bedo mile 2.
And the gate of the mile 2 was open.
Wataki le mutoke manku mbuli flimatefe mile 2.
People entered.
Utanone no kemi.
They asked me to come down. I said no.
No kon kraga manko ne wolo ni
What the NIA, you told me that you are taking me to. I'm not going to stop.
Ni mingi jiri beka wala paske dere kanti dere mi NIA.
All the NIA officers went out of the vehicle using telephone calls all over. I was sitting quietly looking at them.
Na no kupulu
1 hour, they didn't come back. One prison officer by the name of Musa Keta, he was a PO.
Prison officer.
He was on duty that day. You know why? These people, even if we spend the night here, they will never go back or take it to the NI. They will spend the night with you in the car. They we are going to the NI. It is not there. I wanted to confirm that what they told me is a lie. And I went down and they took their vehicle off.
Was there any paperwork done to admit you into the prison?
A small sheet of paper that the prisons normally sign, fill and sign. The officers a copy and they retain a copy.
Prison do ko safere mi ninge safe yo ko safere ko ban ko sen inje ke yakun di prison am andawle charge.
Was there any legal authority given to the prison for your detention?
Mante babaj kayit ko muni ko pudlo puddi loi yi sene mati ko war ko safi bo in a prison.
Nothing as such.
Budget.
So for how long were you detained at the prison?
What do ko safi bo?
2 months, 1 week.
In the meantime, what happened to Jasaja?
Jasaja was arrested again while he was in his farm in the wrong. By the NIA personnel. They brought him to the NIA where he was detained. But his wife normally takes lunch to him. One day, he took lunch and he was told that your husband was released last night. He called me. I told him to wait for me at the gate of the NIA. I'm coming. When I went, I met the security guards there. I told them, look in your register and tell me what time my brother was released here. It was 12 midnight. And I called Marina. I said, Marina, with all the years we spent together here, nobody has ever been released after 7 o'clock in the morning. And I understand that Jasaja was released at 12 midnight. And when you called the security to release him, there was a tinted vehicle standing at the gate with no number plate.
What does that signify?
I told him, what does that mean? He said, well, those are the people that is taking him to Funi. I told him, but your guards, your security guards asked those people, but they did not want to talk. So is this normal? So he said, well, I'm only acting on the instruction. Okay.
From who?
I don't know. I said, anyway.
But from who could the instructions have come from?
From President Jammeh. From President, sorry. Then I told him, look, a day will come when you will remember what I am telling you today. Yaya will never believe you until you forget Abdoulaye Kujabi. Let me tell you this. We are related, but you are just a co-worker, a mere worker. And he is ready what it means.
Were you predicting his ultimate end with Yaya Jammeh?
Oh yes, yes.
What did you expect would happen to him?
I know if he did not sack him and arrested, he will be a victim like others.
Were you wrong?
I was not wrong. When I met Marina in Mile 2 when I was arrested third time.
Let's stick with the Jasaja issue for now. And did you see Jasaja again?
Up to today, I have not seen or heard anything about him. Those soldiers who were testifying here, that's how we knew.
And what did you learn from those soldiers who testified?
They said it was Salamanjang who took Yajama from and killed him. Who took who? Isaja. From
Koni Salamanjang.
The family gathered and we bought some color and make charity for him and
No,
forget about it.
dimbe wale kamburu mi man upre sadayola munyanu sof demite.
And how did you feel when you heard this information?
Nanu jammi kibara yu bukani eno.
The sergeant is from the same mother and father with me.
Njidi jesaka olu unape
That is why, because of the commission, that's why I'm talking, but I don't even talk about him anymore.
Ndija kueti commissioni. Njelo kiri famisa ken kuye jesaka.
People that did this are not in town. That is why it is difficult for somebody to talk. But if they are here, before you people call me here, I would have done something terrible than whatever people expected.
Like what?
Ukakami kuye
Kill them like they killed my brothers. That's all.
Bala mi be won kenu taka kanja jiyo bukana kilinu. Sani tani wafa numanje famu
Somebody kill your
kujide.
parents and come here and say, I did it, I'm seeking for forgiveness. What does that mean?
Nani buku nyaka bija be kula kutake manko ne buku kanikami yamfui.
But you had an experience with Sanamanjang. You know definitely that this was not Sanamanjang acting alone. He was acting under instructions.
When I was released,
Kankan nen ururok de Sanamanjang umanjo manj. Wat nunu man matiko urukandu kuye numanjo ne Sanamanjang kesum kola kane makan bare furim kuseno di tanandi burokap.
when I was released from prison,
Nanku katena me.
I went to Dakar and came back after 3 years.
Nijombe Dakar kilenyu simit sifeji.
I met with Sanamanjang in Kamfenda.
Njidif Sanamanjang ulubakambore
He did not recognize me.
Am ofanga lumu tonfa.
And I told him, Sana, do you know me? He said, no.
Neno mi sana numanja manana mi
I
hani.
said, I want you to go into my car. We go, we take a road to Kanila. I want to explain something for you.
Neno minuma mujupu de ote umoja be kanila mambe is beregwaf.
One of the officers, he came, told him, this is ABDOULIE KUJABI. If you go, you are dead.
Anaki anaprove na mrano ome ABDOULIE KUJABI ujo jarek puket.
I told him, you and I,
Neno mi
from
au
here
inje.
till end of the world,
Be
wherever
dunia
we
beban tanosa inje
be
dike.
ready.
Pare tanosa.
Either you or me, one of us will
Au
die.
wala inje anakuna tumekete.
I told you.
Mambi amwaja asenkan masata.
But you heard from the soldiers that they took instructions from Yaya Jammeh.
Bare nu janjam ko solda tate mun ko senka.
Even if they take instructions from God, what they were doing it on their own. Because one, how can you take
Hanikane yamara di emite konde nguru.
How can you take alcohol, mix all the 3 strong alcohol and drink just to feel nothing against anybody?
Wakane na hudo
Take you from mile 2, just to face the panel. They will
Joseph ano mubujo betu kala
march you down, touch you.
But we will come to that. We will come to that. All of you people are basically the same.
Ani bare
pujo la deto kankan ne mi tu kakunak.
Because all of you, by reason of your blind loyalty to Yaya Jammeh, whether you took drugs or not, you were all doing what he wanted.
Kankan nen mi kamanga kanjimang mi Yaya Jammeh kasof mu yegito ri kidalu. Hani ungangar waf, ungangar droke uran wala ukantu waf. Lakola ke kaunu manjene jongo duluwai.
Of course, to varying degrees.
Kantu waf wakon waf kan famo sangari ya bare tu makona.
Some were doing the killing.
Buka kula kula ke bujay.
Some were doing the illegal detentions.
Buka kula ke safe bukana ka banjo tuluwai.
Some were doing the tortures.
Buka kula ka bala firiya bukana.
Some were doing the forcible evictions.
Buka kula ke bujay buka bana tajuk.
All these people did because of their blind loyalty to Yaya Jammeh.
Bukutu anosa wanda kami mati kamanga kan kati Yaya Jammeh kan kuma.
Knowing fully well that what they were doing was unlawful.
Bare anosa wanda kami na mamanji mati ko wana kane nya jaw tuluwai.
That's true, isn't it?
Malegen kantu.
Let us all pray
dua ala
sense of this TRC.
broka be TRC bang.
If it was not for the TRC, some of the people are talking today, they will never see an eye to talk.
Bukana kanuma nyume kubibi kula kusanke dere tu.
Well, we are happy that you are praising the TRC.
Again,
we are all after the truth for the Gambian people to know what has happened.
It is only the TRC where somebody is bold enough to stand and say, I killed Mr. X.
diri tiara
and then I'm asking for forgiveness.
ana bile mina hani mare gamate ko inge kare inge bugo kare inge kan momoni kanomel diri kep ana hani kala ka mare.
You would agree that those people who killed your brother on the instructions and the authority of Yaya Jammeh.
Bare pulusong matiko bukano kanumanjon ko kubujuma ati kubuja ti matiko yaje maseni furi mafia kama ko kamam.
It's true, because they said it was sent, they were sent by Jammeh. So it's true.
Ko man ko regmeno ko Yaya Mabonyi ko to malegen.
And how do you feel? We know you said if Sana Manjang was here, you would retaliate, you would kill him. What do you say about Yaya Jammeh?
Ban mura regmati ko nen kanye Sana Manjang o mentate jat pour so folo buj. Nya Yaya Jammeh do.
You see, Council, what I'm praying for is
just answer the question.
now I'm coming. What I'm praying for is for all these people to come back to this
Nani council
country.
dike maninge muka duwa tate mtikane mtelagi ni buku tu bede de Gambia.
No, now that they are not here,
Mono to me educate
he said, I've forgiven them.
atuma bele ka sabare yak mayam fa palo ara nya ko kulidire ana ledire nya ay no to ka sabare yak o bere ko yam fu bare rigu to du bigata biyade.
But would you forgive Yaya Jammeh if he were to ask for forgiveness?
Bare mantem mbuyam fu Yaya Jammeh nen Allah yi kayam fu.
If it warranted, yes.
Kanya jejar kay.
How about Sana?
Man Sana
Yam fu.
Same thing applies. If he thinks what he did, not only for my brother, but for me myself.
So vija wana kammi kantu matati yam fang wana kammi
And I know James is in the US. Nothing happened to him.
nima man mati James ombo US wa fu kanto.
He was detained.
Yes, but that's what I'm coming to. Do you know whether he was tortured?
Nima man mante James ba
He was not tortured.
kutekutode.
How about Ansumana?
Man Ansumana
Only psychological torture. Imagine from here to Sarangai, 25 kilometers from
Tata mante be sari
nobody. That alone is torture.
lui fang base bana manjito bahani akona ne yo kep bigata bara ko galen galembo.
And where is Ansumana now?
Ansumana tanenya bena.
Yes, but always we just spoke this morning.
Mana utate umdere hani jabu jomuro no sanke.
And during that detention, did anything happen to you?
Wata ikile yanku.
This is your second detention.
Nothing happened to me.
Hani wafu bagitum.
But you were there for over 2 months.
Bara mla ko ba wuja ko len ko gaba.
Yani len ko gawa loku yakun.
During that period, were you allowed to see a lawyer?
Wata ikile mante ko katekat mujuk bukana ka jumbe ruwai kan ko lawyer.
Not even my family, let alone lawyer.
Hani family mbo fanku songo tumambi anajajo kon sakanto ma lawyer.
And you know that was a violation of your rights.
Ban mama mate ko dakile ko kajan aw nyanta yiya.
Yes, that's true.
But you also know that was the system. That was the system in the government that you worked.
Bare numa manji mate ko do la ko mi bakanera bati mansa na ko mburokam.
When I spent more than 1 month in Mile 2,
Ani baji mfule fakon Mile 2.
I asked permission to go and see Taba Marin and DG at the NIA.
Noni law me ni kuno meje joka diga ando me director NIA. Nani vimido.
You mean to tell us that you were allowed to leave Mile 2 prisons to go to...
I was escorted by the prison officers.
Koba tonyero, prison officer, koba tonyero.
But do you know that is very abnormal?
I begged for it and they agreed.
Royal family receiving different treatment?
Whether others have it or not, I don't know. But for me, because I was there, I don't even know what crime. So when I went to Marina, I said, I am here for more than a month getting I don't know my crime. Can you tell me?
Bangira kutowane kane. Kam lejiro go wakane wane kane. Na
want to go to Mile 2.
Ini nyama kami njifuko fusasa mo kami njigora
I'm waiting for you there. Whenever you are ready, you come for me.
Ina hiyo nyanju piko budo nya. Ono sangi pare.
So your crime this time round was you were stubborn.
Watonya wandu kami unyayemi au fukufu sasa.
That's what Marina told me.
Marina mom rega menu.
But I see one interesting feature of your arrest and detention. It was not just you, it was almost the men in one family.
Bare ni baba juwa fani ikosi di basofera bang kusofera ni kutabi kunen let au bare kunine kanuma njone tu jiwali walde arungu.
What I gathered from sources
waninge jammi
about Ansumana and James,
Ansumana kuye Ansumana di James,
there was a day they went to Casamas.
wajifunak nang kujombe be Casamas.
So on their way back,
Kulak mbele nyile
they passed through a village to see an old man.
du ko wujube esukeke be jukba
An old Sering, is it?
An old man.
ani fan
Was the
That man is a relative of ours.
na ani fana kila no.
And when they came back,
Nang kulalomi
Yaya Jame's nephew, Asistamba,
ya jama barindi ngan konemi assistamba
went to Casamas,
pona jombe Casamas
passed through that village,
pona wujumi de sukeke
and he was told by the old man
ani fana regomi
that Ansumana and James were here, and
Ansumana
they came
and
from
James.
Sienzo and they are going home.
bibi betate sigen sor ko pullo mar ko mama botu
When Assis came,
an assisa bilme
he told Yaya Jame that these people went to see a Marabout
na regmi ya jame mate ko buko ko jobe jukka muri
who will deprive you from the Europeans.
abule kama aw mamba priri aw duk digante aw duk mbubuk
That was why Ansumana and James were arrested.
kambe ko sof Ansumana ko di
And the
James
following day, the same Assis told him that if you leave Abla behind, he's the most dangerous person. Let him go.
nya fatka jom non regmi o Ansumana rane abla nu kato jabulen ko afam man jemati to afam man fiko fusta
That is how I was arrested.
na mom ko sofa meno pop
But we were all released the same day.
para funa fiko ko kate
You see?
after 2 months? 2
After
months.
2 months,
sentence.
someday.
mina no baja kulen ko gaba de loku yekun
But you see that this was also Yaya Jame's modus operandi. He would attack a whole family. Some he would reward and the others he would punish.
Bare nuju jok mo yaade no wuru lako ko bakaner bola pa sof family tu bukaku panda asani wa asumu ya ni juseli bukaku na alone buko.
I personally told James to go back to America and live for Shia because he is Yaya's mate and I know him. He doesn't take nonsense for anybody other than even Yaya. I told him just go and allow us to
moni
stay
regmi
here.
ni nya
Whatever
aw
happens, we'll
Ansumana
take
aw
it.
lambe US mukati ni
That's how
ya
James went back.
mom na jome parce que o kan kana anano ni yaya afla ngati yaya ngari non si katrit bo yaya
But my question was, Yaya Jame would attack a family. He would divide the family. Some he would reward and others he would punish.
Bare wani keng mi woe mi yaade mi pajo beri kan manje ko wala family kon ma ati ken bukaku na akani ejak.
Well, he did that to my family
balla kan kam mom yeti
and
family
his own family as
ani
well.
o fango family yola na kanika
Tell us about it.
You heard about Mercy and Aruna. They were of the same father and mother.
nyanyam ko yeti masi ko di
Living in one, the same compound with
nyay ko
Yaya.
nam pele ko ban lupi e kon ko pullo
And what happened to them?
wow badi
I
kane bo
understand they were also killed by people who testified here.
janjam ko ne mante bu ka bimi ko sankendere ko ne bu ko fan ko bujifa
At the instructions of Yaya Jame.
Ba yaade ma sana furimo.
Yeah, because what happened is,
yo fan
when Aruna was arrested,
ani bam no wakambi nan aruna nan ko sof mi aruna
the sister confronted Yaya to know Aruna's whereabouts.
aruna lino nona jo maja ken ya jame be man ko yeti
That
aruna
was
be
the
na
night the sister disappeared.
naka
up to today.
fukara fakili afa na jo ma ken fo naka fakili afa kara fatifo no ko yema ngomi
He killed them.
na
What they
buji
said, they testified here.
buko kabi ko sankendere mo ko rege de
Did you know these people before?
Manji no bang.
Very well.
manji
Even they are one of their brothers is still there.
hani
Still in Kanilai.
alini angombo kareso jalama ngombo kanila ni beja
Have you seen or heard from them since, Mercy and Haruna?
Mante masi di hari na buku. Ujuki juku. Wala mujanjam mwali.
No.
jam tumoli hani be jati musidi joke kabina pour
In a sense,
When Aruna was arrested in Kanilai, they passed through Dabong
aruna nan ko sofo mi kanila ko ba wuje gabon
with Aruna and brought them to the state, to the NIA.
ko ngali be dir inae
so Haruna was Your brother was arrested soon after Haruna. And
Same day.
The same day.
They brought Aruna from Kanilai. One Usman Kamba to go and arrest them and bring them.
And that was the last time the families heard about them.
That was the last time.
How do you feel that in your own family, Yaya Jammeh has killed 3 people?
Very bad.
Would you forgive him?
That is not for me to say, but the family. Elders, I have old men. Besides what I want, they want to decide on him. I'm a small boy. In the midst of the family, cannot decide anything on behalf of the family.
But now let's talk about you. He did not even spare you, did he?
No. But I have also a family, and it is the family that can decide on my fate. Forgive this man, I will forgive. Don't forgive, I will not forgive.
The camera people seem to be focusing on me. Perhaps when the witness answers, the witness should be showed to be answering. Thank you. He moved on to you after your brother and your cousin. Your cousins for that matter.
Yes.
No.
You were again arrested.
No. That was in 2006.
You can imitate 2006.
That is the attempted coup of Nducham. After 1 week, one fine Saturday, that was the day of Setsetal. Around 1 o'clock, soldiers came to my house. And he said, sir, we are asked to come and pick you. I told them I was waiting for you. Then they asked me whether I knew about my arrest. I said yes. You are calling me to abscond, run. I said I'm not going anywhere. Those people that are telling lies, change their lies to be true because Abla is not here. He did it, that's why he ran away. I'm not that type. So we went up, so I boarded their car. And we went up to Kamal, they told me that they said we should take you to prisons. They will take you to NI and face the panel. Fatika jom mutebe babu ina mbujo lakodi ekafayanko jomem yanko. I was married to from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. Ya njumdo di mile 2 kabiri di samedi be mante be funa cafe araba fokarai. And soldiers came and opened my cell. No military ko bibi ko wombo sele yumbo.
Do you recognize them?
Mante no umanji manje. Yeah, Salamanjang and group.
Salamanjang di kafayola.
And who were the other members of the group? The team that came to remove you.
Salmanjang was there, Malik Jata was there, Michael Korea was there. But Tafa Sane and others were at the conference room. But Tafa Sane or the conference room. They normally put handcuffs on people. When I came out from the security wing, and Senator told the prisoner, is this ABDOULIE KUJABI? Then he kicked my this toe. It dislocated.
Which part of your foot are you saying? Toe or the ankle?
The ankle.
Ankle.
So I couldn't walk. I had to slim up to the.
When
I reached the conference room, I put my hands behind my back. Put the hanger. Even now you can see the marks of the hanger. It started bleeding blood. And then
how did that feel?
Terrible. And they put me inside the car and took me to the NIA. When we arrived at the NIA, it was the same senator who called me and pulled me out of the vehicle.
What was his mental state at the time?
He was drunk.
How do you know that?
Well, in the vehicle I was sitting, there's a 20 liter of palm wine and mixed with other stuffs. And then there's a cup. If they will see somebody in front of them. When we arrived at the conference, at the reception in the NIA, and he said, you Abdullah Kujabi. Sama finta dobong anata jobong kanilai. And look at him.
What did you understand him to mean?
That means what I was aspiring not walk according to what he said. Everything is synthetic, so I cannot be. That means we are only seeing the clouds, but the rain is happening in Kanilai.
You can only have false hopes.
I did not answer. Then Tumultamba came and said, I said, yes. You must tell us all the marabouts you went. I told him, look, you are a small boy to me. Don't ever play with me. Think of yourself, not me. And Musa Jame was holding a big hammer. And then he said, if you don't talk the truth, I'm going to blow your head. Look at Musa. I said, I sympathize with you. Two of you will not live to tell this story. That's what happened. Then, Sana Manjang light a cigarette and burn all my eyebrows.
You mean your eyelids, huh?
Yeah, the bruises, the eyelids, yeah. And the smoke. The ashtray is in my body.
Musa Jame, what was his state of mind?
Musa Jame, what I standing holding a hammer.
Were all of them drunk?
No, we are not. Ismail Jame told this man, Salamanjang, this boy brought us up. I know him very well.
Manjo man fang.
Even if he kills a person and nobody was there, if you ask him, he will tell you, yes, I did it. Stop maltreating him. Nearly quarreled there. Ismail cocked his pistol. And then Tumble intervened.
No tumbula no kemitoro.
Ismail went out.
Ismail no na purumi majo.
Then they took me behind reception.
No kutabambeba banya de bulenka bate lupe na kwal nem kujabranga.
They asked me to lie on my stomach.
No kuloba no kone finto fimo.
Then Sanamanjang,
Ya Sanamanjang,
Malik Jata,
Malik Jata,
Michael Korea started picking me up until I became unconscious. And they dragged me up. I couldn't speak. They brought me back.
Not so fast. Let's take it step by step. What were they using to beat you?
Hose pipes.
Hose pipe.
At this time, were you free in your movement?
All my hands were hung up behind, and the key is left at mile 2.
So how did you come to lie down on your stomach?
They pushed me. I fell on it.
How many of them were beating you?
3.
Did they at any point in time cover your head with anything?
No, they did not cover my head.
For how long were you beaten, if you can estimate?
Between 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
I know that you said you fainted. During that period, were you at any point in time slightly conscious of events that were going on around you?
Yes, when they dragged me up to the panel, I heard what they said
For the who?
for the body. What is this? How can you expect somebody to speak in this condition?
But Mr. Witness, at this stage, before that, did Fode ask you a question? Or did anybody ask you a question?
Nobody asked me. I only asked for water. I fainted again.
So what this conversation that you are recounting now, how did you come to know about it if you were unconscious while you were before the panel?
Nya kasanken kanura genya met ko konu jame fode asanken nanura batunda ya mukalam tafanga fia bunu kane muja mante kalam takalam tafanga fia.
I was not conscious that time because that's why I asked for water.
What actually you know today? Mukam nila imukuno melamira. Wana nirami melam na kusena melamira nuni lambino.
Because of the beatings.
So
So this statement about Fode Bari, how did you come to know about it?
I heard him before I asked for water. Then this man, General Tamba, told him, stop this talk, because if Musa Jame hears you, he will report it to Yajam and you will be in trouble.
The General Tamba Musa Jame Jamum, Pana Ajaragi Jame, Ban Arugama Jama, Kuipia Quality out.
That's what General Tamba told Fode Bari.
Did you hear this conversation, or was this conversation recounted to you later?
I heard about it, and it was again repeated to me again by Fode himself.
But these panel members, were they aware that you were tortured?
Bare bukana ke pale ne mante ko manyati ko nageri
All of them knew that I was tortured. Because I was dragged up without even, I cannot even walk. They hold my hand and drag me up. Cannot even sit or so when I drank water, I became uncle. Then they took me down. Put me in a vehicle. I didn't even know until I woke up the following morning and saw myself in my cell in my room. That time, even if you ask the security officer, they will tell you that he's dead. We're just waiting for them to announce his death. Nobody knew that I was unconscious.
And when you came to, what injuries did you notice you sustained?
My ankle, my bodies were all with blood all over. And I was there from, even if I want to go to the bathroom, they have to hold me. Even if I drink water, I will vomit. Cannot even get food. From Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was the daily Egyptian doctor who normally goes around. Conference where the doctor was. As soon as he saw me, he requested the ambulance to take me to the hospital immediately. Then I was taken to the hospital and admitted at the emergency and accident. And I was given 15 bottles of drips. Then I started walking on a wheelchair. Even my sister, who was working at the RVH, every day she will boil water and and if he's bathing me, I will feel some hot liquid behind me, then I know he's crying. I told him, after spending some time in the hospital, an uncle of mine of the same name with me died in the hospital. Whole country thought it was Abdullah Kujabi. He come from Dakar to
Did any people from the government inquire as to what happened to you? Susan Wafa Ogu, the minister, came. Then when he came, he saw an empty bed, she passed. Then she sent the orderly to ask the nurse, the person who was in the bed. And the nurse said it is Abdullah Kujabi sitting down there. Then they called me. He came, he said, I've come to see you.
I told Susan, do not lie because you are sent by the president because you heard of my death. I am still alive.
No, ni rek mi Susan enta mo gajo parce que ngiri mo mate ko president wa bongili mu joji ke mate nyeke ke tabu gajo.
I told him if you come to see me with this condition and I is not aware, today you are stuck.
Mani ko neno au kanya au bibi bejo kinje man yaaya mangi tuma au bibi abonyilti au jat ko be ka kesori broka bol.
He said no, you know, don't take it that way. I said yes.
Neno mi nano mi hani le mo tak mu sof momu neno mo.
He gave me $200 and I said I'm not receiving any money here.
And I don't want
to see you here again. Then she left.
Stories circulated around town that you were blind or paralyzed.
Kibarai first video suke matiko au tanenga nunjuro jirit ban post kilo sosof.
I was never blind, but I was sitting in a wheelchair for more than a month.
Kilo mo safudde bare lakko si junkotas awuje fulen fakun.
I was doing some physiotherapist at the RVH.
Lakko babu di nyabembo ni lembo babu RVH.
Up to now I'm still having that problem in my back.
Hani be jat blanka bumbum.
You asked me to walk from here to the office.
That
is why I'm still taking my treatment. 3 years in Dakar.
This is some 15 years ago.
Because I spent 1 year 10 months in the hospital in Mile 2. When I was admitted in the RVH, I was not discharged. Dr. Pachanjay came and told me that we are asked to release you and send you back to Mile 2.
Doctor Njan calling Pacha.
Just do it before you lose your job.
You know me. I want
them to write an undertaking that you are not discharged, but they requested. So that if anything happens tomorrow, we'll know what to tell you.
Mambekano wafa manje kajam ukatene ja dere ulanja wafa baje biko manyo ko free ma body buko pullo.
Did they do it?
Mante ko kankan.
A junior officer signed my return to prison. Not the Secretary refused, the State Guard Commander refused, the CDS refused.
CDS nalat Secretary General buku karungu nyam
nobody want to take responsibility.
Hani akona manguta sign keta ko basena ana nomanja nyila siku ndi masukunda mamba sa asla no sana manguta be karoko no so to baje
oto kankande buko tu kukuli.
Because what they said was the AU is coming, they are short of hands, blah blah blah, so I should go back every week. They should bring me to for treatment. I said no. The people that normally come to see me, somebody told me that I used to have a lot of visitors. It's not safe, so they have to take me back.
But with regards to your torture, who do you think is ultimately responsible?
I must have given them instructions. Let me tell you, my relationship, my problem with Yaya was not lack of, whether not executing the job properly or going against his orders, no. Because of my popularity, and that is in me since I was a small boy. Wherever I go with a lot of crowd. When I was redeployed to Birkama, now I should go around my my division
nya di kono mi ware ni momori tunde mbum mbi jokku sefa ko
we set a date
banene funakaf
started from Kalaji coming to the Kombos.
Tongol mun kabirin bo Kalaji mante be ko babe Kombo.
When we left Sibano coming to Ndemban,
nanolu pour le mi Sibano le nyaaw jomu wali nya Ndemban.
We met with Yaya Jammeh's convoy going to Kanilai.
Nya nu Kombo mi di Yaya Jammeh di si woto sola o ejo Kanilai.
Started counting my vehicles. The vehicles that were following me at the entrance.
Na commencé me pinay e si woto sam kari wala sari bo mi di inje si woto san mani mi di inje so bakari bene
Because the vehicles were more than 50.
Ske si woto so san manapi meno si wo sono kanko gaba du kunyen.
When we reached in Kanila and I was in Faraba,
Na rimi Kanila banji toke ngi mi ringe Faraba fanak fukara fakilia.
he called me.
Na kona mi fukara.
He said, but your this store is too many people. I said, yes.
Na mbara auto ye uibu kana kumende neno mi
We are doing also reconciliation. There are people who are angry among themselves, and we have to talk to them so that they can reconcile.
Njo kanka na bukan ndo mbuka sume bukan ndo de kalangi na mbuka mbuka obaji kabla jore bukan ndo kalangi na mbuka
But the way he sounded,
nana mi iyo bari mana yi meno iyo
I knew he was not happy.
ni mwanyi matako kontanu de
And I called James.
nyoni wanku mi James
Told him, the president has called me, but I know he's not happy with what he saw.
a president oli na wonka ndo bani mwanyi matako kontanu to wana jukumi.
And when I completed my tour,
Ana ni bambi to yumbo
the CDS Babukar Jata
na a CDS of Babukar Jata
went to State House
Jombe State House
and said, oh, the president,
Ragminani he
you
president
see Abdullah's meeting in Tujereng.
Ujukuja mitineti Abdullah Tujereng.
It was even more than when you came there. And then he started laughing. He didn't know that the man is not happy to hear that.
Tell us.
He called me. Babukar called me to tell me what he told you. I told him, you have put me in trouble.
And for Yaya Jammeh, it's all competition with him. If you have this car, he must have a better car. Or he takes that one. If you have a house, he must have a better house or he takes yours.
That is true.
If you have a business, he must have a better one or he takes yours.
That's true.
If you have a farm, he must have a better farm or he takes yours. That's gangsterism, isn't it? Could you answer?
That is true.
So you're saying he was a gangster too?
That is true.
And he would go to any extent to get what he wanted.
That's true.
And in your case, it was torture until you fainted.
It was not only that. The reason for Yaya Jammeh forming the Justice Paul Commission is because of us. Because in my case, if you look at the report the Justice Paul wrote about me, few lines. The commission have recommended that we should pay this and this and this amount. The reason for the payment was not even known. I said I'm not going to pay a penny. I went to court, and then I took Mr. Gay, and then he applied for a stay of execution.
Ni me and Mr. Gay,
Under that Commonwealth judge.
Judge Commonwealth judge.
He gave us the stay of execution.
State of execution.
He said the commission is at par with the High Court, so they are not going to honor what the court has said, so they have to implement what the commission has said.
Commissioner Kori High Court
the IG, Commissioner Usman Sonko, when he was the IG, so he must execute what the commission said.
Commissioner from IG Usman Sonko.
And then what happened?
They took us to the NIA and asked us to surrender our title deeds as a collateral. I told them I have no compound, I have no title deed to surrender. They said that we will detain you. I said fine. I was there till 12 midnight. And I was asked to go home. And I should report the following day at 10 o'clock. I went there and they asked me the same question, whether I have a title. I said I have no title deed. Then they investigated, they showed that even the compound I was staying belongs to Musa Drame, the present Minister of Local Government.
Local government of land, Minister of Local Government of
the old man has nothing. Forget about him. That's how my compound did not go. But all my vehicles were taken away. And then they took it to IJM's store and they were auctioned. This is what happened.
How did you feel about all this after everything you have done for Yaya Jammeh?
Let me tell you, when it comes to position and riches, I have no relative or friend. Even if I give you a car today, a brand new car, you drive it for 10 years and you have problem with him, guy is in the garage, he will ask you to take it and take it back to him. That is his type.
He's very vindictive. He's very vindictive.
Yeah, that's true.
But even though a lot of people say that Yaya Jammeh had really done a lot for the Jola, he has helped them a great deal, the evidence also is that he has gone very badly against the Jolas, especially those he believed were a threat to his authority.
Bare ujike ja pop kamenge kure regmatiko Yaya Jammeh na kankan wajake wajupo ya kujola na kani kama jake majupo ya bare pop na tiken kamenge kanumanjone kuribu na kuli moni.
I have here Exhibit 9 and he is said to have killed the following: Momodu Lamin Nyasi
kaita kaniye kenya kuise sen matiko nabubuju ankone Momodu Nyasi
from Buyam,
apurom Buyam,
Buba Sanyang from Buyam,
apulom Buyam,
Dongo Mbub from Buyam, Modu Lamin Kujabi from Dobong Napulo, Dauda Nyasi from Bondali, Aruna Jammeh and Masi Jammeh from Kanilai, Wuni Kanilai, Sise Jata from Bujilim,
Sise Jata Bujilim Jasi,
Tumbul Tamba and Musa Jammeh from Sintet,
Tumbul Tamba di Musa
Jammeh from Sintet, Samba Kujabi from Kanwali,
Samba Jasi Kanwali,
Kujabi from Kanwali,
Samba Kujabi Sanwali,
and Lamin Baji from Sintet.
Lamin Baji Sintet.
And those whom he detained, tortured, or detained, simply detained or imprisoned.
Di kanuma njone ko ba sofere kunen tinta kon ka ku teki tek ka ku kunen inen tinta kon rek.
Lang tombong tamba sintet.
Lang tombong tamba sintet.
Landing sane kanwali.
Landing sane kanwali.
Ibrahima Bun Sane Wasadu.
Ibrahima Bun Sane Wasadu.
Abdoulaye Kujabi, that's yourself, Dobong.
Abdoulaye Kujabi, akami aufang Dobong.
James is not on the list, but James also Dobong, James Kujabi.
James kare sakola akulet podikai takbare James.
Was detained, but he was not tortured.
Yes, I would also add Haruna Kujabi.
Innen top of Haruna Kujabi.
Which Haruna Kujabi? No.
Ansumana, sorry. Ansumana Kujabi.
James, yes.
And James, yes. Modu Baji.
Modu Baji.
Kanjibatu.
Kanjibatu.
Esa Baji from Sibanor.
Esa Baji, Sibanor.
Bintanding Jaju Block.
Bintanding Jaju Block.
Modu Manga Kambagal.
Modu Manga Kambagal.
Usman and Pahari Jame from Kanilai and Alfuseni Jame from Kanilai.
Usman Pahari Jame de Alfuseni Jame Kanilai.
Ibrahim Amare Buyam.
Ibrahim Amare Buyam.
Tausu Jiba Dobong.
Tausu Jiba Dobong.
Wiye Sane Arankon.
Wiye Sane Arankon.
Suleiman Bojang Kanilai.
Suleiman Bojang Kanilai.
Idrissa Koli Dobong.
Idrissa Koli Dobong.
Solo Bojang Karor.
Solo Bojang Karor.
Jibril Bojang Bolengat.
Jibril Bojang Bolengat.
Aziz Tamba Kanjong.
Aziz Tamba Kanjong.
Tausu Kamara Kalaji.
Tausu Kamara Kalaji.
And a whole lot of other people who were dismissed from their jobs.
Modu
Lamin Jiba Dobong.
Modu Lamin Jiba Dobong.
Ibu Koli Bondali.
Koli Dombali.
Bondali. Lamin Jobate of Sibanor.
Lamin Jobate Sibanor.
Boli Koli Foni Jarol.
Boli Koli Foni Jarol.
Karafatamba Wasadu.
Karafatamba Wasadu.
Vincent Bori Tamba Wasadu.
Vincent Bori Tamba Wasadu.
Baba Kujabi Kanwali.
Baba Kujabi Kanwali.
Benjame Dobong. Sorry, Kanilai.
Benjame Kanilai.
Okay, now James is here. Pateba Kampasa.
Pateba Kampasa.
Pa Edward Sajasane Wasadu.
Pa Edward Sajasane Wasadu.
Bala Musa Sanyang Demban.
Bala Musa Sanyang Demban.
Modu Lamin Jaju Buyam.
Modu Lamin Jaju Buyam.
Ibrahima Jaju Buyam.
Ibrahima Jaju Buyam.
Ansumana Jamme Kanilai.
Ansumana Jamme Kanilai.
Lamin Sane Sibanor.
Lamin Sane Sibanor.
Dino Haidara Wasadu.
Dino Haidara Wasadu.
Abdoulaye Tamba Sintet.
Abdoulaye Tamba Sintet.
Abasanyang Buyam.
Abasanyang Buyam.
Pa Usman Bojang Bujinga.
Pa Usman Bojang Bujinga.
Okay, Yankuba Drame Buyam.
Yankuba Drame Buyam.
Modu Jame Alakunda.
Modu Jame Alakunda.
Ibrahima Drame Buyam.
Ibrahima Jame Buyam.
Sekuba Jaju Sangajor.
Sekuba Jaju Sangajor.
And Yaya Jame, is it Makumbaya or Makumbaya?
Yaya Jame Makumbaya.
These are all people mainly from Foni. Yaya Jame went again.
I don't know how deep, how you got it, but if you go to the people that were given this concussion for the witches, 10 times more than what is written here.
Bukana kan kusemme beba na bang kurege mbata kuyala kukufang man ku dupe bukano bajim de kaita kufang.
Because it started with a man called Santamba. When Santamba died, they brought those fishermen from Guinea. All happening in Funi.
And kutong no misang tamba. Ona jimmi no ko dem nguru kunino.
Who was Santamba?
Foni
ay mala ko no Santamba.
Santamba is from Casamas, and he claimed to know who is a witch and who is not a witch.
Santamba o Casamas na pulo banana bi mina rek nani ona mangi ayama ayalaw di akantuma ayalaw.
But he died.
Barna jinjim.
What happened was,
he
attacked somebody from Casamas. The guy's elder brother was in the army in Casamance. Now he's in Canada. Let's wait until he come to Wasadung, Casamance, then we get him. When he went to Wasadung, they took him and detained him in Dakar. I think they gave him some injections that will keep him alive for some time. When they knew that everything now is in his body, they sent him home and he died 3 days when he arrived in
And
yeah, and he died. That's all. Then Yaya did not stop. Then he went for those Fulamen in Guinea. But he said he's going to wipe out all the witches in the Gambia. Because all those Fulamen have to come here. Whatever. A lot of people eventually died as a result of that.
why was Yaya doing this?
I don't know. He said he's fighting a witchcraft that he wants to eliminate throughout the country. Because I heard him on one of the rallies that if we don't stop being witches, I know what to do with you people. I heard him. And that's what happened.
Do you think he was completely sane?
Such a human being will never, because witchcraft is created by God, and anyone cannot stop it, whether you like it or not. I think you can challenge God. A matured human being will never
Mr. Witness, our interpreters are tired. I think I should just leave it at that, Mr. Chair, and I would ask just one last question.
We are
really sorry about this. But just before we end it, how do you feel about all this?
Very bad.
Are you prepared to forgive and reconcile with Yaya Jammeh and all his men? For unlawfully arresting you and detaining you and torturing you? For unlawfully arresting members of your family and detaining them? For the killing of your brother? For the killing of your 2 cousins? And for the witchcraft in which lots of people were killed in Fonyi and beyond? And for all the degrading treatment Yaya Jammeh has meted on you? Do you forgive him? Or would you forgive him?
That is up to the family to decide. Because if anything happened to me today, it is the family that will sit and discuss about it. Let's forget about it. It's a grand shame to our family. Things went, it will forgive like that without sitting and discussing. Especially those people who are not even relatives, whom he is sending to destroy us.
Sakantuma bokana kanu manjimi kumna pudi oli kona boyile beka kajin oli nane le pantenyire.
No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you very much, Mr. Kujabi, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Council, emitekati asira Mr. Kujabi nani jolom be esenet furi mafia de commissioner.
First, Council, you preempted me, but 3 cheers to the interpreters. You did very well indeed. Thank you so much. Sorry, you had to do it one for a long time, and then the second one also came in. Nonetheless, you did a splendid job. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I think you need to say it, that you can interpret that. The people to hear what the job that you have done.
Sijunguta sifejes au libuka na kambe kanno sora bari ha nukanka mbroka bajaka nukata kata fanka bari mbujo mire olomeka sankena na baraka na kontan kweli.
Just one small point from me. The religious manifestations that Jammeh exhibited, carrying the Quran with him, the praying beads, I don't know what's in the sword. How religious was he really? You grew up with him, you knew him very well. It's a gap. I'm not getting into Jammeh's private religious beliefs and other things are there between him and Allah. That's his business, that's his private thing. But what he is demonstrating to the country, what he demonstrates to the world, the kind of religious person he is. Can you just say a little bit on that point, just to fill the gap, at least for me?
Wani mbeke ni wae kapana ke dinai. Yaji makankana numan jone nisi sentie mbati kwa kankana nati dine buju kwa asafe kitaba na so etasabe na sof wafa numan jone da wisi mbati anati dine bakanya rabola tu diba sanke na rabola pugu sof matanati dine bare nima manbe manji bi au anuman jone jibaba timte kon jibaker timte kon jikuluwe nima manbe manji au di manje ni manji mi ya jamme nenkane kara ila ko de mite bo tutoreli bare ni au wonu manji mi nima man mu ragom ya jamme man anbulo jawlo jadi wa pati dini.
I'm raising these questions to get a better understanding, as we have done. You've helped us tremendously. Lots of things that we need to know about the man that Gambia has been saddled with for 22 years.
Ujuk jami kenye ulu panrambe ni mu manje ana nu manjone nu lako di od simit kabanan di waf mu ngo nu manjo jak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Baraka Chairman.
What I do know,
waninge manjumi,
I've never seen Yaya in any karanta.
I've never seen him.
Where he got that knowledge, I wouldn't know.
Bana bujula mi londa kile inge manjut.
Karanta should be interpreted. Perhaps it means a Quranic school or a
Quranic, where they normally put log on fire, people sit around having their reciting the whole Quran. I've never seen him do that.
What about leading prayers?
Manka salindi akaye
I only pray in his house, but as a congregation, no, I've never seen it.
Did you ever look at the Quran that he carries?
I have never looked at it because you can have translation in English and whatever. That is why he is holding it to himself.
You really can't say much about that of it.
The way the time he started holding the Quran was when he was the president. But before that, I've never seen him holding the Quran.
Ami na kuma se sa fe alquran e mom. Ana kuma na la kama president non juko mi non juko mo sa fe si alquran mom ta sabaya mom.
He got
no.
I don't
know. Musli juko. Madam bajele mo londo nje man jotale.
Maybe Gabriel came to him. Imam, you have, oh, sorry. Yeah, you have the floor, please. Commissioners, yes.
Witness,
I say that.
you are the most truthful witness that sat on that chair.
See the kajawlo be two alpha mon legene.
In view of this and in view of the fact that you have disclosed all the things that were hidden,
Oji keja nu puren wa fo tu wanu manjone wo fimino en.
you think
Aw di manu soft me.
people in this country
Bukana ke suke we.
should blindly follow Yaya Jammeh again?
Mante kuwar kukulang kuriben yaje med uyegiti.
Thank you. I don't think.
Nge so foot.
The reason being,
Makami moy.
when people team up together to vote against him, that means they know who the person is, and now they will never vote him to come in again.
Ngana ku yo ku
After hearing all what has happened in the country through this any matured human being
bukana kumo mangi bu anomo bu façon bu
will aspire for such a character to come back as a head of state.
if you mutumatiko anano mangi anosana no mangi bigite bi burinding
It's better for the Gambians to give it to
ano
him
lañu
than any other
xami
person.
mambe façon anomo comme na yaaje ma bil ma jaro ko fam ko tam e fam soft mo de
Deputy Chair, you have the floor, please.
Deputy Chair mbaju kasanken.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, witness. We're truly sorry for what your family had to go through.
Asedo emite kati ban olikoka ela savari di wan dimbayali ejukumi.
But the TRRC has got different committees that it works with.
Bare TRRC ebo bajitundo sajupo esanu manjone olukombo urok.
And in addition to the public hearings which we're holding,
Kabenen ni kujajauke kanukana manu sanke ankana tu kujam.
we do a lot of behind the scenes work.
Nukane kanu roko wajupo anu manjone kana kujukerit.
And this includes community outreach,
Banuru do epure beje educate bukanak.
sensitization programs,
Mu mikeni mukani numanj.
reconciliation.
Di pop elanyi le bukana manku kandin dekon.
You have said that the list that the lead council read
Nu ujanyam urarag matiko lead council wan aragum tate.
was not representative of the numbers of people that were affected by the witch hunts.
Ro safertu bukanak tu kanu manjone ku tora itora ku yete nyeset ku yalak.
And I will add other atrocities.
Dan pi benen to pop tajiri aya manjone ku kanka yo pop.
But when we went for the outreach hearings,
Ban manu jomi mu tok bukanak stundo soli beja me onko mam merage.
there were some communities
Sutundo sake sosoto
that resolutely refused to testify even in private to the TRRC.
anu manjone ku balan fereng be kasankeni TRRC hani men kane fang let kuisen anakilai.
Thus affecting not only our ability to establish the complete truth,
Bando rolo ka gano let matiko kep engeseti malegina kep.
but also our attempts at healing and reconciling the nation.
Bare pop di kata yole le purumbujuk matiko kana kutukula landindoko.
Because this is our mandate to heal and reconcile the nation, not to divide the nation.
Kato wakami wole kaita wandu jumi woyanmi ekane mane suke tu elandindoko let man kana kufasor.
But it is unfortunate
Bare nya kankan morek
that there are some communities
babaj situndo sanu manja
and some people,
dibukan kake
the minute you talk about the TRRC
au dere geti TRRC
or talk about this resistance,
wala ureg mati kuwe bajami
they see you
nikujuki
as following a particular person,
nikujuk matiko au annombo kariba
as following a particular ethnic group,
kariba numbo siye kon
or even a region.
wala kariba numbo.
This is sad. This is sad
Udu kankan wa wakane balafa.
I really want to know what your perspectives on this are.
Nima mambe manja au kawono rakia wanu bunu jokumeno.
Thank you very much.
Baraka.
Because for me,
Jikeja inje.
I thought the people you should have consulted.
Sof mate bukana kanjiwale jiregen.
Go with them and then they tell their people the real story for them to come out. They are left behind.
Purumbeji jorri buko mikujo bukana koli o bajomi ko jika katubo bukana kakile bulemko.
You know these dollars, especially the illiterate ones.
Sakantume buko
Karanye
rimut.
TRC, they thought it is an institution that is bent on destroying only Yaya Jammeh.
Wankosof mekuwe TRC mi pukan kabile bejo beka kajen kuwe kujulak.
Look in my case. When President Barrow was touring the country, I was in Kalaji, and then I attended all the meetings he did in Funi. A lot of people came, but some were not happy. But I told them, look, if anybody is bold enough to face me and say, stop fooling around, that person is dead. So if they think, if you tell, look at even in Kanila itself. Kanila is divided into two. Their own was fenced. The big Kanila was open. And even the alcalde of Kanila, Masre, was died because of this foolish concussions. That is Ben's Labrador. So some people are afraid to come, but they know. I will tell you, 2016 election. You know, Aaron Barrow was in Canada itself. You know that?
Mr. Hello. Sir, the interpreters.
Sorry.
Don't forget the interpreters.
But I hope, but can I start again? Oh.
Just repeat comme l'offre rek te mu lañ bi lañ ko lañ 5 ans c'est correct.
What I said is, when the TRC went to Funi, there are certain people they should have met who would have guided them how to approach certain individuals. But this was not the case. Because for Funi, I used to tell people, APRC does not belong to Funi.
APRC killed Funi.
But because Yaya Jammeh is from Funi, we don't like him, we don't even say it in the open. Only people like us who bold enough to talk. Others, even if you talk to them about that, they will just go live with that. This is it.
Now the other question is in relation to the earlier statements that you made about the July 22nd movement.
Jojo Kandi Kuwaiti July 22nd movement.
How soon was it disbanded after you had that meeting with the president?
Nanu baje meeting the president. Mante pio banjanun kufasorio.
3 days.
Okay, because you have talked about their training in Libya.
Yes.
But were you also aware that they were having in-country training by Libyans who were flown in to train them?
I was there. They were during the transition.
Thank you. I wanted confirmation of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Carr. You have the floor.
Commissioner Carr, Jamaica Sanken.
Thank you, Chairman.
Chairman,
and thank you, witness, for your testimony. And sorry for what happened to you. You mentioned something very interesting, and because you told this commission that you are loyal to Jammeh because he was your family member. And council did mention cases of people who, like Sanamanjang, who are loyal to him because they were not, who are loyal to him even though they were not family to him. But what is clear from your testimony and from our investigations is that there are people who are so loyal to him that whatever he told them or he asked them to do, they would do it. How does Jammeh build that loyalty? How did he build that loyalty? How was he able to?
Some were doing it because of their positions. They can maintain their position.
Thank you. The final question is, did you get your judges back?
I got them back since that time. They are still with me. I
definitely do need them.
What about Chairman?
I'll give it to Esa.
Thank you. We won't allow Esa in the hall here with Juju Zong. Imam C, you have the floor, please.
Imam C and Bejo Kasanken.
You can offer prayers, not Juju.
Mr. Kujabi, you let me de la Santa Hitam de la Jal Hitam Sambokumi. Only one I like Moy Nyaribir Moy Sarakabi.
Mr. Kujabi, I want to ask 2 questions. Your brother, your younger brother.
Saja Kujabi.
Which one Magla?
He's my brother.
Kujabi. I'm bring the phone.
What did they do? Was it the difficulty that you were facing? That's the same experience they had, or they committed a different crime?
All
of them never work in Yajame's government.
But
because my brother is Gisaja, even people at Foni knows that he's a very righteous person.
He has charms.
So now, as far as Ablai is in a problem, if they don't arrest Gisaja, he will do what nobody will even expect. Every person, every child of Foni knows that.
So mom to close the gap between man and man.
So he was just trying to be in between me and my brother.
I
am next to Ansumana, and Ansumana was also next to our elder brother.
Which was a lie.
For Ansumana, they accuse him that he was the one, he will cause for Yajame not to have anything from the white people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry? Please, Imam.
One last question, please. Seems you are very much interested in participating in reconciliation in your area. You rightly said that we did not consult the right people to get to the people. Would you accept to work with us now to get to the people.
Mante nya pu mang bero ko oli pu mambungon ujuk bukana kakile.
And other people who you think can help us get to the people.
Dipo kan manjone no source of matiko pu ngon uring buko mon ngon ujuk kanu manjone o warujuki.
That's the question.
Yoni mang beke.
How many people precisely do you want to be part of your team?
Kan kono butumbo jimange fangu mambi kuona kunabdi ikafayolo.
We'll discuss this later on. If you give your consent, as the chairperson of the Reconciliation Committee, I will talk to my committee and we'll get back to you, and with permission from the Commission, we'll certainly be able to do something for this.
Tanenya ni mama mbe manji mante no sonsong lenkana umamang purjata te pankawa fa manyone pumik tiengra njiri bukana kumbo.
I am ready. If anything that will bring peace to the country, I
Ini
am
pare
ready.
pare de anja wafa no mani penumuru konsume ka penumuru kaira diri mofome. Ini pare pare be broka bakia.
Thank you very much.
Baraka.
Thank you. That's a key component of our mandate. Pursuing that would be a wonderful thing. Sorry, Commissioner, somebody asked for the floor?
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Chairman Emitakati.
Baraka, Mr. ABDOULIE KUJABI.
Thank you, Mr. ABDOULIE KUJABI.
And the meeting obannola mafoite abaraka.
We can't end this meeting and I didn't say thank you.
Because nimu dotinu,
If you were someone else,
inyon jamale tambita nyinsira nkono.
people like you have passed through this set.
Jolal lamwiti.
They are jolas.
Bari yaya jame menke bukala fi wayefu fam.
But they never wanted to disclose what Yaya Jame did.
Ngami ete afo commissioner janko ni yaya jame le denta.
I believe you have said it to the commission that you are related with Yaya Jame.
Bari ilo tale ay menke la ya besa ta dunia be ya mwe.
But you stood and revealed everything that he has done to you, and the whole world is a witness.
Sa ngami ra mol membe ko mamel ka fuko ntel TRC ka kodo di mol lale pour yesi yaya jame tinya. Ngami ra tumando bije bi niete la la testimony jube ibalo ndala ko tonya mutonya doroneti.
Now, I believe all those people who sit out there and say we pay people to come and give testimonies, if they hear your testimony, they will believe that this is the truth.
Mol men ka fuko yaya jamme mo karila teri maleti.
Those who say Yaya is so-so's person friend.
Yara man teri soto de.
Yaya has no friend.
Because bitilo te itebe sirin dame.
Because today, where you are seated,
Mandinkol kame susura kame for fenkem kati dame saka fenkem telem.
Commissioner, I cannot interfere in that. Sorry.
Lakin ko bi ite lotale yafo yaya mosi fa menti anite kato menke yaya ite mako yoro menke yaya manejo fenna fire jo nyin tajire yala.
Because today you have stood and revealed the kind of person Yaya Jame is. He didn't look at the things that you have done for him.
Mobe sa expect ko niya na tabari kabe murula ngane nana takote kabe kukela mola mentambita ay menketel.
Then everybody should expect that when Yaya Jame return, because people believe that he will be back, that he will do something that is things that are worse than what he has done to you.
Bi few ye la moy ila diamo la ibalo na ko inni Allahu Taala tema ya alquran le ta ya kalimen kete la ye wolefo.
Be whosoever is listening to your testimony would know that you swore to the Quran and you are speaking the truth.
And the mel be sita jang ni afu ko ya mafu.
And whosoever sat here, if you ask them, they say Yaya didn't say that.
So me ila dinu mba fore e massa.
So I am sympathizing with you or empathizing with you.
Ila brother men fata fana mba fore e massa arama arjana kallanke udalae.
Your brother who has passed on, and also praying for his soul to rest well.
Ike fana arama isola jusola men satin nala ko isi juso nyabu bayri te misino ya timmandil.
And you too, may Allah give you that heart so that because you have fulfilled your obligation as a Muslim. I can't end without saying thank you.
Because
jolas like you are not much here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yaji mbadunga fem for me along ko tumando molbe ya minu malong. Yaya ma muso me ya ba ma wulu.
Which
many
people will never know. Yaya Jammeh came from.
Dalong yellow mantamoti. But mulatina menketa nteto khola.
But why is it that what happened? I won't say it.
Alun bilim bina ndeni alale nke samananyang iko alquran vela tachi ya fo ini alatema.
Because when I was coming here, I came here because Allah brought me and I was given the Quran and asked to swear. If we are to
I will be born.
If I wouldn't be born, I wouldn't be born telling a lie. That is why I said everything I knew. People outside there can take it however they want, but I am Abdoulie Kujabi. If you are not pleased with what I say, you can come and meet me at my house.
Abaraka, kuma jamale fota janite kanaja, wala tinang kontende wala mafo ya abaraka.
Thank you. So many things have been said here. That is why I cannot end my intervention without saying thank you.
Abaraka.
Thank you very much, Amma, for your testimony again, Mr. Kujabi. If you have any final remarks to make, please proceed to make them now.
Emitekati Mr. Kujabi de manujolo mo sen seda yi anen kanu man baba kurin kala bange kanu man derek ngon musan Kenya.
I understand you might want to make them in Jola, or was that it, or?
Yeah, namu man be man te man be kasan Kenya Jola wala.
It's his language of choice.
Yes, that's fine. Go ahead.
Let me continue
in English.
The English I started.
Super.
Because I want all of us to know or be aware of what is going to be. First of all, I would like to thank the TRC
and follow
the job they are doing.
I tend to TRC broka bajaka bankombe kane.
I discussed this with the lead council, I think on Tuesday, outside.
The lead council for nakafeta latai.
I want your investigators to open up. It's not that Abdoulie Kujabi said this, so we'll take it like that. No. But if you follow certain things, you will know whether the person is taking the TRC for a ride or not. I'm saying this in the case of Yaya Boja, who testified here against me at the early stage. Yaya said because of the torture, that's why his sons were like this. But if you took out his socks, you will see that all the bodies are like this. That is a sickness from all the members of his family.
The family only took
So if the investigators did not go in to find out who this man is by getting in touch with his associates, his family, they would not know. And the man went away with $350,000 on no ground, just because I went to the TRC, I lied, now I'm getting money. But the TRC is very important for that.
Yaya Boja na tete disiguresa no manye si feji manye nandiyo na kam nan sof meno ngebi bi TRC di me gajuro e ke badi bogodobe man warante kamo TRC wa no manye fo legene fu
the day he said this statement here,
na reg mu from fu dere
people were calling me all over.
na ko yakole won ke bob bana bu kapana ko tu
Yaya is also a grandson to our family.
Yaya umu ko ndiko nya mamari wole di family yole.
How can I do such a thing?
And the
time he was saying that 10 soldiers arrested him. Who is he to be arrested by 10 soldiers? When I have my NI person, even 2 can go and bring him. That is why I'm appealing to the TRC to be widening their investigation. Otherwise, now that he thought he is scot-free, others will also want to emulate the same thing. That's what I wanted to appeal, so that we can all look at it. I'm not saying that you should go and arrest him because he has already squandered the money. For any recurrence, you know what to do next. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kujabi, for that. I have been informed by the chair of the Reparations Summer Committee that that money to Yaya Bojang did not come from the TRRC.
No.
Yeah. No, I just want to put that on the record. But again, thank you so much for your...
And also to put on the record that the TRRC has investigated the hands, and we know what we know. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed again, Mr. Kujabi. Thanks for your testimony. We will conclude our proceedings here for today and come back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock sharp. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.